Hey friends, how's everybody doing? What a busy day it has been. We started this morning with 31 Days of Monsters, my annual monster movie review that I do every year at this time. And then at 11 o'clock, we launched the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key. We hit like 13,000 within the first hour. Then we went over to Ethan's and we put in another 13. And now we're closing in on 30,000. Even more importantly, 420 backers within, what is that? I'm looking at maybe 8 hours now. That's amazing. I can't thank you guys enough for your trust in me and in Compass Comics to deliver to you a good product on time that you're going to enjoy. I'm assuming most of you guys had backed my last project, Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales. Julie was there all day today, putting postage on and boxing up boxes, and we've got 2 huge bins that I will pick up on Monday and drop off at the post office. So that fulfillment is going forward now that we finally got the books. That was the thing. It took a while, the printers have been backed up because of staff issues. There's been some issues, although I didn't run into any of the paper issues or anything like that, any product issues. I was just, beholden to their own schedules. And they that's why it took so long for those books to arrive. But arrive they did, and they looked amazing. The printer did an incredible job. You usually unbox these things, and a good 5 to 10% of the books have got issues. They're dinged, damaged, destroyed. Sometimes there's some printing stuff like the spot UV was applied improperly or slipped on the press or whatever. I think so far, I think only 3 books have been damaged, which is pretty damn good. So I am really stoked about that. We took a little break after Ethan's show, and I figure after dinner time, maybe come on back, talk more about the campaign, maybe have a chit chat about, this is October 1st, one of my favorite months of the year because of Halloween. And as you all know, my love of monsters. Just get a conversation going and have a fun night. I think some folks will be popping in here. I know Billy said he was going to pop in, another monster fan. And we'll see who else shows up. But at the very least, it'll be you and me. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. So let me say hello to whoever is here. Looks like I got a nice little list here. Horror Mike says, howdy, Graham, backer 114. Love that cover A. Oh, wow. Thank you, Mike. Much appreciated. Kelsey Shannon did the covers on cover A and just really killed it, I thought. Aldion says glow in the dark variant cover is a cool idea. Yeah, I thought about that. That once I saw the image in black and white, it reminded me of, the creature features that I used to love to watch as a kid, Saturday mornings or Saturday afternoons, and then also sometimes at night. And there was these glow in the dark Aurora model kits that I used to build and spent my summers building and sniffing that tester's glue. That could explain a lot. Maybe that's why my hair's gone, who knows? Normie Nerd is here. Good evening, Graham and chat. Joshua 45 says, hail. Marcus Kelligrew, he says, I am now backer 401. Thank you. Thank you, everybody here that has backed it. Ahoy hoy says, it's not important, but it is important. Dun Ringle says, hello, everyone. Leg Kick 1, hello. Art CS has a pumpkin and a knife, like carving. That's cool. Good evening, Graham and chat. I love the imagery of Halloween. The pumpkins, the black cats, the silhouettes, the witches, the universal monsters. I mean, God, I love that stuff. I'm always sad at the end after the end of Halloween. Then you get into the holiday seasons of Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that. And Uh, it's a totally different vibe. I mean, I like that too, but there's something very special that appeals to the 12-year-old in me. Oh, there he is.
I'm
There
glad
he
I
is.
like you too.
Hello, Mr. Otucci. I'm
Oh,
glad.
Mr. Norland, how are you today? Look at my 1941 Lon Chaney Wolfman underlighting.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like that. Oh no, that look right there,
Right?
that's Henry Hull.
Hull's like more. Was it Henry? Well, like he was like.
He's
Wait,
the
hang
werewolf
on.
of London. Yeah, you got that look with that because you got the hair going up. All you need is one of those little Scully caps. Like he was a very well dressed werewolf.
Yes, he was. It was a great looking werewolf. But remember,
Yeah.
there was Lon Chaney one too, where he was like,
Oh yeah, he's always under with the teeth.
and now I can look. I'd be Lon Chaney Senior from the Phantom.
Oh yeah. Did I ever tell you the story of going to see the Phantom of the Opera with Colm Wilkinson? The Andrew Lloyd Webber one. I took Julie to see it. She always wanted to see it.
Okay,
We actually saw the Colm Wilkinson in Toronto. We drove up from Buffalo to Toronto, made a weekend of it, and all this kind of stuff. And Phantom of the Opera. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. We're sitting there, and she's just enraptured by this thing. And I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And she says to me at the intermission, wasn't that great? And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Masquerade.
yeah. I said, well,
Paper faces on parade.
I said,
Masquerade.
there's an awful lot of singing. She looks at me like I'm an idiot and goes, it's Phantom of the Opera.
Oh,
I said, I know, but I was expecting Lon Chaney.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah. That's it. Well, the funny thing is, we saw it. I saw it 3 times. And I had and the reason why I could tell you this whole song, because one of our professors at FIT in live drawing classes, that was 87 when it came out, that they would just play it all the time. Like that, like remember you drawing in class, and these are 3-hour life drawing classes. And
you were at the Fashion Institute, so you had a lot of show tunes.
Show tunes, hello. So so Phantom was the big one for like 2 years. They just kept playing it, and we're like, oh my god. But believe it or not, like I said, I saw it 3 freaking times. How that happened, I didn't even know. Oh yeah, I went with my first girlfriend before Debbie and I were together, and that was it. That's actually saw Sarah Brighton and Michael Crawford, the original cast. We actually did. They were in it because somehow we were in school. Yeah, it was 87, and our teacher. Somehow the school got tickets. It was new, and and I guess because they wanted, young people. Who the fuck knows? But we bought we bought them, but they were discounted. They were probably only like $20 each or something. And I had the same exact thing. And then went to go see it again, and with Debbie.
You had to see it twice.
So 3 times.
Oh my god!
So I remember there was this lady sitting in front with this giant. It was the 80s. This woman had this giant bow in her head. No, that's right. Debbie's aunt took me and her for, I don't know, her birthday or something. And my birthday's right after Debbie. So maybe, for your birthdays, let's go see Phantom. I'm like, oh, okay, let's do it again. And then the 3rd time we saw it was because Debbie wanted her sister to see it. And here's a funny story. So my other sister-in-law, her boyfriend came with us, right? Which I didn't even know, right? I mean, sorry. I'm driving with my other sister-in-law's boyfriend, and we're driving, and the commercial comes off of Phantom of the Opera. I'm like, oh, dude, you really should go see that play. I said, it's a great night. You can take Christine. It's a real romantic night, blah, blah. And he's just looking at me. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, no, you should go see it. I think you'd enjoy it. You like that kind of stuff. And I know she would love it. And he's like, dude, I fucking was with you when you went to go see it. I completely forgot that. So I kind of knew he wasn't going to last too long because I didn't even realize he was there. But Slanchevek.
Oh, hey.
Congrats. You got a drink, homie?
I don't have one here. I had a couple glasses of wine with dinner tonight.
Oh, look at you!
But I figured I'd be streaming, so I wanted to keep my faculties, man.
I hear you. Yeah, we had today is Johnny Walker's birthday, I believe, because at my local liquor store they had a birthday cake and a shot of Jack, and you got like 10 or 20% off or something for a bottle of Jack. But I got Jack, and it's
Wait a minute.
You like
what
Jack
about the Johnny
Daniels,
Walker?
right?
I mean, screw Jack. Johnny Walker.
I have
Johnny
a bottle
Walker Blue
here though. It's kind of sweet for me, bourbon.
Oh,
I like a scotch.
I'm sorry, my friend. We can no longer be friends.
Yeah. You wouldn't be the first. I mean, I lost a lot of friends by, criticizing Obama back in 2012. So
What? Whoa, wait a minute. Wait, whoa. You criticized Obama?
I did.
My president?
I criticized a public servant.
Oh, my God.
And
Somebody elected by the people?
yeah.
Unlike Joe Biden?
Yeah, exactly. So dude, I'm digging my under horror lighting. I got to get like Fragga lighting with the colors.
Oh, yeah.
I'm digging this.
Yeah, it is cool. Look at it. You got the whole brow thing going there.
I
Too.
know. Yeah. Remember when I got bit by the spider in Mexico?
Yeah. You had the
I totally like Henry Hull because my whole forehead was like.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of these lines though. It's better than the Botox. Get bit by a spider in your face, and then I look like Greg Gutfeld. Remember it moved down. And I had this. I'm like, dude, look at this. I got bit by a spider in the face.
Oh, that's great.
Sleeping because the weather. We were in Cancun, and the weather was so beautiful that we had the windows open every night because we're right on the beach and the water. The curtains are blowing and stuff, and it was really nice.
Yeah, it was so beautiful that your artwork blew into the pool.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of that artwork, and that artwork is now a book. Where's my hardcover? Here you go.
Hey, Nicholas.
We got him, just like you got yours.
Oh, nice.
I'll show you the page that blew in, too. Hang on.
Oh, yeah. Let me just address Nicholas Rizzuto here. He says, Graham, you should put a link to the campaign in the description. Links at the top of the chat there, bud.
I think you should put a link to your campaign on your YouTube channel. I'm sorry, on your Twitter feed instead of your YouTube channel, too.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Same thing with your Facebook. If you get that little Facebook link too,
right?
Page. It came out okay in the end, but it sucker flew in the water. There it is. That one.
The one on
right in the water there flew.
The one where she's standing there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what are we talking about? Monsters, man.
Yeah. Well, it is October 1st. I launched 31 Days of Monsters. We launched Ghosts of Matecumbe Key today. And let's take a look and see where we're at with that.
Yeah, let's do that.
29,280 with 424 backers. That's an amazing first 8 hours.
Yeah, incredible. But I
looked at my stats on Backer Kit stats to see where I was with Alien Alamo and then Giant Size Two Fisted Man.
Yeah.
And I'm way ahead of the curve.
Can you share that? You should share that because I think the fans would love to see that. If you go to Backer Kit and you could track, on Kick Track or Backer Kit, you could track actually the days of the campaign. You know that, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I think you should share that so we could see where we are, especially with that albatross hanging over our shoulder. It's like Aaron Judge trying to hit 62 homers.
He's going to do it.
30K. We need to get 30K. Please.
We're going to 30K tonight for sure. Yeah, let me see if I can let me remove this and hey, you know what? Yeah, I got to tell you this first. I'm going to be doing you know what my favorite monster movie is, right?
King Kong?
No.
Okay, Frankenstein.
Yeah. So for a straight up monster, yeah. But
one of my three guesses.
Okay, you want 3 guesses?
3 guesses. Knowing you.
Mm-hmm. I talk about this damn thing all the time. Frankenstein's my favorite monster. Period.
Okay, okay. Is it Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein?
That's up there.
That's up there. That's a great movie.
That is up there. Oh, seer of all that is obvious knows me.
Oh, The Thing, but that's not a monster movie. It's not a sci-fi.
It's technically sci-fi, but
you tricked me.
I did.
You tricked me.
But I'm going to be doing a presentation. We're doing a double feature at the North Park Theater in Buffalo in October 22nd, 23rd. It's a Saturday and a Sunday. They're going to show a double feature on the big screen of The Thing from Another World and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Shut up.
And I'm going to be, I'm going to go up on stage and introduce the films and talk about them the same way I do for 31 Days of Monsters. And I just cannot wait.
That is great. Now, what do you think of the 1982 Carpenter film? The Thing?
I have a lot to say about that, actually. It's closer to Campbell's book, Who Goes There, in that all the character names are correct, but which is typical of Carpenter, and I think his generation is it's all his characters are nihilistic. You don't care about them, and I don't believe for 1 minute any of them are researchers living there. I think they're ex-hippies and actors living in the North, in the North Pole, wherever the hell it was. So that's a disconnect for me. Whereas in the original, in the Christian Nyby version, which technically is really Howard Hawks, has really very little to do with the Campbell book. However, what is a staple of Howard Hawks is his love of professionalism. So we love our characters, these military guys, because they're professionals and they're good at what they do, and they're real people. There's that ball busting between the Captain Hendry and his subordinates, and it goes back and forth, stuff you never saw in movies up to that time, and so it's a far superior film for me. It's more it envelops you more than the Carpenter one. Carpenter one, obviously, The Thing is again closer to the original. The blood,
it is. Okay.
The blood scene. That's right out of Campbell's book. But like the 1951 version, Campbell's book ends on a positive note. The humans win. Whereas the nihilistic Carpenter, his ends on an ambiguous note,
Yeah.
Which one?
Because you don't really know. I mean, and then you see when at the end, the two actors, that great actor that's in Platoon, who lives with he survives. Him and Kurt Russell survive. At the end, they're talking.
Yeah, Keith David.
Keith David. Okay, yeah. Right. And if you see him, there's no breath coming out of him when he's talking. At the end, he's sitting there, and they're sitting there together, and they're talking. But if you look when David Keith is speaking, it's very obvious that what's his name has the cold breath coming out, Kurt Russell's character, but his character isn't.
McCready.
Yeah.
And McCready, as described by Campbell in the book, is like Doc Savage. He's this giant of a man, he's not little.
Hence why he survives. A strong survives.
Yeah. He's a definite leader too. He's a definite leader. McCready in the book, you can tell that he's a badass, and he won't take shit from anybody.
Yeah. Now, what year was that book written?
Like 1931.
See, a lot of these books, you wonder, are they in the public domain? Remember you guys were talking about Doc Savage earlier on Ethan's stream? Right. Could these books, to make a comic book adaptation? I mean, look, Narwhal did Nosferatu. I know that's a film. That's in the public domain. But, I think I'm sure, I don't know if you already have your 31 days set of monsters.
I do.
Okay, but I think an interesting show that may be something to carry over is look at sequels and not sequels, but remakes. Compare remakes, like with the discussion we're having here about Thing from Another World and The Thing, or The Last Man on Earth to the Omega Man to, what is it, I Am Legend.
All three of those are on the schedule this year.
Shut up!
For that various reason. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. I can't wait to watch those.
Yeah, we're going to do Last Man on Earth, then the Omega Man, and then I Am Legend. And again, it's another example of Richard Matheson's story being more accurate in the Vincent Price one than in either of the other iterations.
I found it amazing. The one thing that always, and that film is in the public domain. Actually, you can actually show that film while you're talking about it. Which one? The Last Man on Earth. It is in the public domain.
Is it?
Yep, it sure is. Just make sure if you grab it, that it doesn't happen what happened to Ethan that ruined your friggin' launch stream today with the strike, that guy takes films in the public domain and then copyrights it. Prick, and then doesn't have a disclaimer at the beginning. He has it at the end.
So you scroll down to the bottom.
Right. So if you get monetized, he can get your money or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
What a dickhead.
yeah. Hey, Randy, Hal, thank you for that $5 Canadian super chat. Hail, hail, rock and roll. Graham's campaign is going to grow. Yeah, buddy, it's doing very well. Thanks to everybody here that supports it.
Well, we're talking. If I can ask you a question,
Yeah. Answer caller here. Graham, you got any of those Monster Island return hardcovers to sell? I do not. The Ominous Press ones, I think, are all sold. But I have the rights, and I plan on reprinting it under the Compass Comics label, like the original Monster Island was done. So those will see print again, because I will be returning and finishing out my trilogy with Escape from Monster Island, and then they'll all be published together under the Compass Comics banner as an omnibus of the entire Monster Island series.
Cool thing, and the great thing about the omnibus is that you'll get stuff in that you'll never see in the regular books. In the individual issues. All the like we threw in sketches, character development, etc. But another cool thing is they're all quick campaigns because it's all done.
Yes.
So it gets in the fans' hands quicker. So
yeah, absolutely.
So speaking of, like, you're talking about, we're talking about actors and films, and I don't mean to take over your stream, but
no.
Who's your favorite horror actors? I mean, I would assume John Wayne is your favorite actor of all time. I don't know.
I love the Duke. Yeah, I love
the Duke. I love Errol Flynn. He's probably my favorite actor of all time. I love Errol
Flynn too. I love James Cagney.
Yeah, Cagney's great.
Cagney.
Yeah, of the new breed, I think Tom Hardy's great.
Yeah.
I like Brad Pitt, especially after seeing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm like, oh yeah, I love this guy.
When he punches that hippie out, and says, "Fix the tire."
I will knock his teeth in.
I love that. I love that.
We saw that opening night. It was when it came out, and people were cheering when he was beating the shit out of the hippie at the end. When he's what they did to the hippies, people laughed. Yeah.
I'll tell you, because I know what the reality was with Sharon Tate and all of that happened at the end, where DiCaprio goes up the driveway with the hairdresser, and then Tarantino chooses to do an aerial shot, a bird's eye view of them as Sharon Tate comes out and greets them, and then he keeps the camera locked there, and they walk in outside of camera range. Well, typically, a bird's eye view is used to either show space or to distance you from something that's going to happen. And I was afraid what was going to happen was after they exited and the camera was there on the driveway, we were going to hear the sounds of the Manson people inside the house, committing the crime, and it was going to end like that. So I was very, and the music too, like there was the foreshadowing of the gate opening when they let him in, when they let DiCaprio in. It's like that rusty, and then he walks up there. I thought for sure that it was going to end on a shit note, like reality.
Oh, like, so he discovers it, or like,
or he becomes a victim because he's a fictional character. I figure he becomes a victim as well. And then it ends, and I realize, fuck, this is a fairy tale.
Yeah.
This is a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it just ended so perfectly. I was like, holy cow.
I agree. It's one of my favorite movies. I got to be honest with you. Definitely my favorite film of past 20 years or so. I can't think of another film I enjoyed because I had so much fun at the theater watching it too. It was just a great film experience. We got the popcorn, the Raisinets. Debbie eats 5. She's been eating 5 of my Raisinets since 1987. What's up with that?
Yeah.
She just wants 5, but she's still taking. I'm like, and then I don't give it to her, and then she ends up taking it from me. I'm like, you can have your own box of Raisinets. No, I just want 5. She wants my 5 though.
Yeah. Well, she did give you 2 sons.
That's true. So I guess so. That's
maybe the 5 Raisinets.
That's true. Yeah, I guess it's okay. But now it's probably like 5,000 Raisinets.
you owe her the whole box, but she won't take it.
I'd say she get her. Here's all the Raisinets that I don't know, something funny in there. So, who's your favorite horror actor?
Well, I'm at a dead tie because I love Boris Karloff and I love Bela Lugosi. Those 2 guys have been in so many shitty movies, but they always give 100% in every one of those movies.
Mm.
You know, you'll see actors that are, you know, lauded actors in shitty movies, and you're like, God, oh, like Pacino, De Niro, Nicholson, that are shitty in movies because you can tell they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, they've got
Michael
their
Caine,
money.
too.
They don't care. They're lazy about it. These guys, you know, they had to work for a living, you know, and no matter how ridiculous the story or the plot, they gave it 100%. And you believed that they believed. And I love that about them. Vincent Price is another one.
Oh, Vincent Price is great.
So great. He's been in so many, you know, clunkers, but you can't take your eyes off the guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Peter Cushing is another one. Just gives 100%. Christopher Lee, you know?
Very physical. Those Hammer films were so physical, you know, just because, you know, you'd have, you know, what is it? Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, and you could see that they're taking it easy on Bela Lugosi when he's in makeup.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And didn't Lon Chaney play him in some of the scenes or something too? Did Chaney dress up?
No, that was Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Glenn Strange broke his ankle. When he was picking up the girl to throw her out the window. So when you see that scene, it's the back view of Strange throwing the girl, the assistant, out the window, and then when he turns around, that's Chaney Jr.
Wow!
And you can see it in his face. He's much more physical, lumbering. You know, like you know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not that you asked, but my two favorite horror actors are the Cheneys. I adored Lon Chaney Jr. I of course, you know, Lon Chaney, obviously for his vast body of work, but a lot of it's missing, you know. I've only seen clips of a lot of his films or stills of Chaney Sr.
What would you give to see London After Midnight?
That's exactly what I was that's where I was leading to. Just right? I mean, brilliant. And I'm sure that monster, if Aaron Lepresti's watching, that makeup, that creature, all right.
Yeah.
Is I bet you that's in the public domain. You could make a mock-up of that. You know, you could put that in a book.
For London After Midnight?
Yeah, that you know, because it's lost. It's not
it's a lost
copyright on the physical look of it. So
yeah, look at that. We are
$75
away from 30K.
All right, I gotta buy you a cigar for that one, buddy.
People. This is a wonderful launch. I'm glad everybody's interested in the ghosts and you know, finding out what that connection is with the Alien Alamo and the Shinu. I'm just tickled pink that everybody's digging on this.
You're as giddy as a schoolgirl, aren't you?
Giddy as a schoolgirl. A bit of mustard. Why do you not trust your senses?
Yeah.
You can be easily swayed. A bit of bad meat. Something about mustard too.
Dude, only 2 people bought you a cigar for shame. Bill Toops is going to buy you a cigar. That's a good. I am not giving you a. Oh, look at this! Now the tip is the highest amount.
Oh,
the tip is actually at the. Be careful, everyone out there. There are snakes in the grass.
Yes. Yeah. You guys, when you back these Indiegogo things before you click, you know, the final thing to check out, just take a look at the left side down towards the bottom. Indiegogo is adding a tip as if you were 8 people at a dinner table. Automatically adding a tip, which does not go to me; it goes to them. And you can click off of it and put 0 in there. And so I just want to let people be aware of that, you know, because quite honestly, I think it's a little underhanded.
I agree with that.
You know, if they're going to add that, then as soon as you go to the purchase page, it should be right up top. You know, hey, would you like to leave a tip for Indiegogo? And then you can decide. But I feel like it's a little, you know, a little under the table there.
Yeah, it's a little sneaky there.
A little snaky.
A little sneaky. I just bought you a cigar, so you should know even more.
Oh, well, thank you, love. I love me bloody stogies.
Yeah, what cigars are we going to be smoking down in Fayetteville?
Oh well, I'm going to bring me some Rocky Patel Java Reds. Love.
I think I'm going to go. If you pick them up, I will buy 2 of them off of you. If you could pick me up 2.
All right. I will bring a couple Java Reds. You will love this. This is like a
We'll
dessert.
bring 4 of them or
Okay.
6 of them. If you want to smoke one every night, I'll buy 3 of them from you.
All right. Yeah, you're really gonna like these. You put it in your mouth, and as soon as you taste it, it tastes like cherry. You know, like that leaf has been soaked. It's like you're smoking a dessert or something.
All right, then buy me one of them because I'm not crazy. I don't know. I get it. No, because I've had those flavored cigars, and you wake up with a headache from smoking all of that, chemicals, whatever they make it to taste like cherry.
Oh no, this is all natural.
This is all natural.
Oh, it's all natural. Yeah. When you buy good hand rolled cigars, there should be no chemicals in cigars.
Well, if you buy those ones, when your friends come over and you give them a $20 cigar, and then they give you one out of the bag it's vanilla flavored.
Well, those
are great. Pineapple flavored cigar.
Oh, great. Are you guys into pipe tobacco? I love the smell. I love the smell of pipe tobacco.
Graham, you know what? You should get a pipe. I smoke a pipe.
Do you think I could rock the pipe?
Dude, you could so rock the pipe. If I can, Debbie says it looks like I should be blowing bubbles out of my pipe. I do. I love a black Cavendish. See, a pipe is also very, very personal. So you're gonna have to look at the pipes. I bought Ethan a pipe for Christmas a few years ago, and it's a good pipe. He's never smoked it.
Oh.
So go pick up a pipe, and I'll buy this. I'll buy the tobacco for the pipes. It's so great. You love the smell, right? I mean, you do.
Oh yeah,
and we sit there, and let me get my pipe by George. Hang on.
What do you think of Witchfinder General? The Vincent Price film had a gruesome ending with that scream. It was before its time. Haunting film. I never saw that, so I really don't have an opinion.
All right. So
Brian Suddenly Old. Backer 265. Thank you, Graham. This book looks awesome so far. No clunkers out of what I have gotten so far. Well, that's good to know, Brian. We aims to please, and we just want to keep everybody happy with our products. Compass Comics are catching on. Awesome to hear. Thank you. Paul, I'm thinking of a romance comic. I've always wanted to do a romance comic, and it might be something I might explore at some point.
With murder involved in it, though?
Well, there's a lot of great romance movies that had murder. Casablanca, for one.
Yeah.
The Couriers.
Pull it off. So if you look with a pipe, Graham. So here's one of my pipes, and my go-to pipes.
Okay.
The cool thing about a pipe is that since society won't allow us guns,
right?
Carry around.
They don't allow us to smoke in public either.
Point to your friend like, listen here.
Yeah.
With a pipe, when you want to make your point, get your point across, you're like, now see here, young man.
Yes, but that's the point you were trying to make with a pipe is obviously a more erudite point. It's like, well, no, I don't think that quantum physics would buy into that theory, my friend. Whereas with a cigar, you're like, listen, you screw, you can get real in your, alpha face, whereas you're more, well, I don't know that I agree with that, my friend.
Or you could be like, or also, Graham, you could do one of these and light it up and like, there I was.
There's the lighting thing too, with the thing down there.
Yeah, I got a lighter. I was smoking on my porch, so I think my lighter's down there. It enhanced. Here we go. Ready? There I was.
I was crossing the Amazon and my.
Whatever did you do, Commander?
What was that cartoon?
Commander McBragg.
That's it, Commander McBragg. He was always so boastful, and he was telling these outrageous stories. It was like part of the Tennessee Tuxedo, and
he had his pipe, and they're sitting in big leather chairs by the fire, and he's probably a veteran of the Indian Wars or the Boer War,
the Crimean War.
Yeah. Whatever did you do, Commander? Good stuff, man.
I might have to get one of those, man. I'm getting motivated by.
You totally could rock a pipe, and Julie would love you in a pipe.
She likes the smell of a pipe. Not
she
so big
on
on the
that.
Cigars. What do you think of Dwight Frye?
What a great actor.
Oh my God.
The expressions, right? Those close-ups of him. And so many when he plays Fritz in Frankenstein, not Igor or whatever, right? He's Fritz,
No,
right?
he played Fritz and he played Carl. Carl he played in Bride of Frankenstein. Igor was Bela Lugosi in Son of Frankenstein.
Mm. Hey,
but you know what I love about Dwight Frye? One of my all-time favorite scenes that nobody really notices, but Dwight Frye comes down because the Burgermeister, the father, and the other people are banging on the door in the storm, and he comes down and yells at them and says, "Go away, go away!" And then he's going up the stairs. Now the guy's a total wreck. He's got this tiny little cane. He's all bent over. He's in these shitty clothes. And he stops because his shitty sock falls down, and he takes the time to groom himself and pick the sock back up, which has no elastic. It's going to just fall right back down again, but he's going to stop and do that. And it's that little bit of business, which to me adds so much character. I just love that little touch.
Now, do you think that was just something that happened, but he just...
I think that's not in the script. I think that's a Dwight Frye improv.
Excellent.
Yeah. And it's just a wonderful little thing.
Yep. Somebody, Pork Hunt said, Billy, how about a war comic with a supernatural twist? And if I may bring something up, I have an idea. And it's, remember the Leprechaun films?
I never watched them, but
I never did either. Yeah. But you remember them, right? So the U.S. Army Rangers trained in Ireland before they went over to England, before Normandy, for the, the scaling of Point du Hoc and everything like that. So I had this story of them training in Ireland in the mountains, and all, and one of them finds gold. They find a ton of gold, and these American soldiers, oh my God, look at this gold. They want to stuff it. I can send this back to Ma. We're rich, I tell you. Maybe some of them want to, but it's the leprechaun's gold. So then you have to have these, and that leprechaun wasn't like the Darby O'Gill and Little People leprechauns,
right?
These are like dwarves, man. Fucking dwarves, like redheaded, ginger-haired Cecils running all around. And but now they're murdered. But so then these Rangers had to fight the leprechauns. I think what a fun story that would be. Shoot them with M1 Garands and stuff like that in the face. Oh,
give me a bell! Ding ding! Beautiful.
Ah, here, my friend. Salute.
Thank you.
Now you could drink. Now you can have you need a bourbon for this.
I do.
30K, and you're not going to have a bourbon to your fans who did everything?
You're right. I'm letting them down, aren't I?
Yeah, why don't you go and I'll talk about you while you go get a drink.
Okay, say great things.
Great things. Well, let me tell you about Graham Spankin' Nolan. Graham Nolan's a great guy, great friend. It's such a privilege. I'm so happy I got to meet him. I met him through Bo Smith, I believe. We had there was this notorious Facebook comic pros group, and I believe he was in it. And some of the fellow pros in the industry, many of them I love and stuff, but they're kind of lunatics, And then a couple of us started peeling off, like, see this? What's up with this guy saying this, sort of thing. And then we realized, oh, you're one of the good guys, or just a regular person, if you will. And then we did a few shows together, had a few pops together, a few cigars, or a lot of cigars and a lot of pops. And just a great guy, great all around guy. He deserves all the success he's getting. He's getting well deserved. One of the hardest working men in comics. Wonderful family man. If you've met Julie, his wife, she is a dream. They're just like I said. I just wish I knew Graham. I've been friends with Graham. I think I met Graham through Chuck, actually. And I met Graham.
All right. What lies have you told?
I just said that you're a handsome man and a judge of a good whiskey.
Well, here's to you, my friend.
Not Slancheve. Here's to you, pal.
And here's to you guys in the chat, and to everybody that is backing not only my campaign, but Billy's campaign and all the other CG artists that are working so hard to just keep this art form viable and to pass it down, to other fans. You get years of shit, and people leave the hobby, they leave the art form, and they'll never return. And then it dies. It becomes opera, Well, so we need to do this kind of stuff and keep our passions high. And so here's to all of you that
Yep.
support these things. God bless you.
And you know, and we couldn't do it without you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You
And
know,
like I
you
said,
think
you guys help change our lives, which again for the second time. And it's just wonderful. It really is. It's such a privilege being here with you, to be here with everybody. Somebody had posted in the chat, if I can go up, said Anna, that Star Wars girl. Yeah, Jetto Yaga. Introduce that Star Wars girl to Brian Polito. She's planning to do a Lady Death bikini cosplay. I will definitely introduce Anna and Brian. I think they'd get along like peas and carrots. And I think she'd make a beautiful Lady Death. So I will definitely do that.
there you go. Okay.
Yep. And so look at
Raymond,
this,
if I was only able to
friends
get
coming all around.
one of the previous books as a perk, which should it be? Well, you're asking a father to, which kid do you save that's hanging off the cliff?
Yeah.
I love them both. So it's hard to say.
Do you really?
I do. You know what? But they're different. They're two different kinds of stories. So maybe I'll just give you a little description, and then that might help you out.
Yeah.
The Shinu is straight up horror. It is. I wrote that as it was if it was a rated R horror movie.
That's like a monster movie, right?
Yes,
I mean, literally, is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's done in black and white, and it's scary, and it's gory too. Whereas the Alien Alamo is a relationship story that's back-ended or surrounded by sci-fi and Western motifs. But really, it's the relationship of a father and son. And that whole thing was based on my love of the rifleman. I love that relationship between Lucas McCain and his son Mark, and I thought it would be neat to explore that kind of stuff. So it deals with relationships. It deals with a man dealing with PTSD. It's a more complicated story, but I love them both for what they are. So that's
especially then I think it's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
And especially that no one knew what PTSD was back then. And many of those men were too proud to ever admit it.
Correct.
Ever. And they never did. They took it to their graves. I mean, I shared on Twitter a video of a soldier, of a veteran, calling the suicide hotline. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, and it's heartbreaking. And I shared it. And a cop stops him. The cop is a veteran as well. And the guy just wants a hug, and he's crying, and he's hysterical, and it's extraordinary. It really is. So, like I said, they say 22 veterans, a day, right? A day commit suicide. I think it's actually up now. I think it's up, especially with this economy and what COVID did to them, even more. We're losing even more a day, and it sucks.
Yeah, and I think that the people are different. The men that dealt and fought in World War II were a different breed than the young men today. The warriors today are awesome and stuff, but I think there was an internal toughness, they just didn't air their stuff out, so they kept it in, and then they would talk about it, at VFW meetings and stuff like that. They didn't have a term for it. They just called it shell shock or battle fatigue, or but it's the kind of thing that can happen to people that have been in traumatic situations like car accidents too. It's these violent things that happen quickly that can really mess you up.
Yeah. Did you see the Pacific, the
Yeah.
HBO series? And again, if I had not seen Band of Brothers, I think the Pacific would have been, the greatest war miniseries or film ever. But it was just so vast. It was the Pacific, it literally was the film. The series was the entire, the campaign. It was, with so many different characters. Band of Brothers was just, you know what I mean? That small group of a company of men. But that part when Gunny, the World War I veteran, the Gunny sergeant, Okinawa, when he lost it, and that's when you saw, like, because remember he's the one that called the lieutenant a shave tail for muzzle sweep in his pistol. He grabbed a bucket of of bullets and threw it in his face and really dressed down, chewed the shit out of that LT. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he saw how tough this guy was, and then if he could lose it,
Right.
really just show, that was extraordinary. This
Yeah.
war is hell. It really is.
Hey, here in the Steadfast, thank you for the $5 Canadian super chat. Both are really excellent, but gun to my head, I'm going with the Shinu.
Ooh,
Okay.
for pure
Got to
entertainment.
vote for the Shinu. And to Robert Romano, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. What do you think of The Monkey's Paw? I've heard of The Monkey's Paw. I haven't seen that one yet. So, again, don't have an opinion on that.
Neither do I. Yeah, I haven't seen it. How's your boy Chuck Dixon doing?
Chuck did well with the hurricane. Last I spoke to him, he said things, it avoided him.
Yeah,
but any hurricane would avoid Chuck Dixon.
That's true. That's true.
They're going to avoid him.
Just being on the great silver Wookiee that he is.
That's right, the silver Wookiee.
Don't go anywhere near yet. He just stands on his roof, and there it goes south.
That's right. Do you know who I am? Considering Shinu Alien Alamo and the Ghosts of Matecumbe appear so different, I'm curious how you will tie them all together in a cohesive Nolanverse. Well, now, looks like you're going to have to get the Ghosts of Matecumbe if you haven't already. It's not as hard as you think. I mean, on the surface, it looks like they're very different, but they're really not. They're stories of people. There's a supernatural or science fiction or horror element to them. And there's plenty of breadcrumbs that I've been leaving that will help you tie it together if you look closely. So homework, people.
Are they going to so we are going to see bits and pieces of that in the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key.
Bits and pieces of
Matecumbe Key.
Bits and pieces of what?
Yeah. You're going to see bits and pieces or references to the Shinu and Alien Alamo, perhaps?
Yes, that is correct.
Because technically, parts of Ghosts of Matecumbe Key take place before Alien Alamo, doesn't it?
That's correct, too.
Ooh, and Alien Alamo takes place before the Shinu.
Yes.
Interesting.
And even before the prologue of the Shinu, which took place in 1977. So, if you put it into a timeline, we've got 1935, 1957, 1977, and then modern day.
Now, Graham, let me start doing some interviewing here.
Oh, well, yes.
As if you're on the Pop XP with Bill Tucci.
Yes.
Being that you grew up on Long Island, moved down to Florida,
right?
Met the dazzling Julia.
Yes.
Did right by that. Well done, buddy. You knew a good thing when you saw it.
Married up.
Yeah, not like most of us.
You did okay too, pal.
I did okay, but it took me a long time. I'm a good time, Anyway,
I know.
I get ready.
I get no ding.
Anyway, so being that now you lived where in Florida?
I lived on the Space Coast.
So you're near Cape Canaveral
Beach,
Cocoa Beach area. That's a hell's away from Matecumbe Key.
Yeah.
And I know you're a historian, and I know that you that you love things like this. So what drew you to this story of, first of all, how did you find out about the 1935 earthquake and all these poor chaps that were swept to sea and destroyed?
Mm-hmm.
And then how did you fashion this ghost story out of this?
Well, Mr. Tucci from Pop XP, I think that's a wonderful question, and I'd be more than happy to answer that for you. Actually, the first reference to the 1935 hurricane is in the Humphrey Bogart film Key Largo.
Which took place in a hurricane.
Yeah, it took place. Key Largo was never the name of a key until after that movie. It was
really,
yeah. They named the first key in the island chain there, Key Largo, after the movie. And then so when Old Man Temple starts telling Edward G. Robinson about, they were picking up bodies in the mangrove trees, about from the 35 hurricane. I said, that's the first time I ever heard about it.
Okay.
But then I was reading a book called The Last Train to Paradise. And it's a wonderful book about Henry Flagler and his sort of swinging at windmills idea of building a railway through Florida all the way down to Key West. And, Henry Flagler was one of the partners with John D. Rockefeller in Standard Oil. That's where he made his millions. And he was thinking that Key West was going to be a port of call as ships came around there to go down to the Panama Canal. And so he wanted to, get, product and a train down there to handle all of that. And that never came about. It didn't pan out for various reasons why the commerce didn't go there. But he built the railway, and they had to come up with engineering ideas to build the trestles, because you're building them over water. Basically the ocean is there, and you've got an archipelago, and you have to create this trestle and these train tracks through,
link them all together.
Yeah, link it all together. And you've got storms and stuff, and that was the bane of his existence, was dealing with these storms.
Yeah.
Well, by 1935, the train proved to be not viable, and so as part of FDR's plans,
National Recovery Administration,
recovery out of the recession, he had sent all these World War I veterans down there to start building what has become the Overseas Highway. And that's the highway that goes, it's US 1, basically, that goes all the way down to Key West. And they were there Labor Day weekend, 1935, when the most powerful hurricane to ever hit the United States landed on landfall. They were living in tent cities and stuff.
Yeah,
they didn't have Doppler radar to figure it out. They knew a storm was coming. In fact, Hemingway read about it, and then they had ways of kind of figuring what direction it might go. And Hemingway figured, well, it's gonna go past Key West, and it did. It headed up north and headed up to the northern Keys. And to put it in perspective, that the Hurricane Ian that just hit, I think they said 155 mile an hour sustained winds. That's like Hurricane Andrew had 155 mile an hour.
Sure, yeah.
The 1935 hurricane, there's been reports of sustained winds of over 200 miles an hour. That's how, that the winds were so strong that it was lifting up the sands, and if you were caught out in it, you had your skin sandblasted off of you. There was an 18-foot wall of water that came across the islands and washed out everything, including a rescue train that had been sent down from Miami. And the only thing left on the track, there's pictures of it. You can, if you look it up on the internet, you'll see the engines was too heavy. It's the only thing that stood there. The rest of the train and the people that were in those box cars waiting to get pushed back out, all got killed. So
there were men loaded in box cars, and some women and children, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, because there was
natives,
there were people living down there, citizens of the islands.
And oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How many people can they have a feasible number of people that they could discern who actually did perish in that?
Yeah, it's somewhere between 450 and 530 deaths. Some people were just missing. Some of them they found weeks later in the mangrove grove trees and swamps and stuff like that. It was so hot and humid down there in the Keys. You're in the tropics at that point, and the bodies started to turn really fast.
Yeah.
And so originally, they were going to ship these veterans back up to Arlington and have them given a proper burial. But it got to the point a few days after the fact that they just had to start burning them because of disease. And so, a lot of the family members were furious about that, but they had these big piles that they had to get rid of these bodies because they were just rotting so quickly and badly.
Yeah. And
So
those four World War I veterans, they got the shaft so many times after the war, specifically under FDR. What he did when he sent MacArthur in, into when they were striking for their pensions. They wanted their pension paid. They weren't being paid for a year or two, or whatever that was owed to them, the money after the recession. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Or in
the recession, the depression, actually. And he sent General MacArthur in there with cavalry and just ransacked through there like they were like Custer's going through Wounded Knee or something like that,
Wow.
Just terrible. It's just awful.
Hey, Jasper, that's very kind of you. Thank you so much. There's a lot of good CG books, and to be on anybody's #1 list is a great thing. Thank you.
We have a Cerebral fan here.
Well, all of my fans are Cerebral, Billy. I don't know, who shows up on Pop XP, but over here, we are much more erudite. In fact, we all smoke pipes.
Yes, thank you. Pipe stream. So if I do a pipe stream,
yes,
everyone will smoke except for Aaron. And then Aaron, so like if I have the bros, right? And I'm like, pipe stream. We're just gonna have pipes and we're gonna complain about I check the schedule because I'm doing our because we're launching a new campaign on the 6th of November, a Saturday, which I seeing how well you're doing and everyone's doing on Saturdays, I want to launch the Shi Senryaku omnibus on a Saturday. And I have the bros the Saturday before or after that, whatever, but it's election day. My bros falls on election day, dude. How cool is that?
Oh man. Well, we should put it off and do it post-election day.
So should we do it Wednesday? See, could you make a special to switch storytellers?
Oh yeah.
Tuesday and we do Wednesday for the professionals.
I can do anything I want.
That's right. You're an American.
I'm like Chief Brody. I'm the chief of police. I can do anything I want.
What do you say? How does it feel? What's it like to hate the water but live on an island? And what did Brody say? What did Brody say? He said it's only an island if you're looking at it from the water.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I'm drinking a great wine, which my wife discovered. Now you drink Cab, right? You drink Cabernet.
I love Cab. Yeah.
We're steak. We're meat eaters. We love them. Yeah. So this is what's her face? Chrissy Brinkley's wine. And it's Bellissima is her vineyard or whatever. Zero Cabernet. There is zero sugar in it. So when you drink a lot of wine and that's the sugar that gets you in the morning. And God, you get that pain in your head right here unless it's
it's called
like a tumor or an implant here. And dude, I drank 4 of these so far tonight.
What?
And I'm right. No. But I'll drink this whole bottle and I'll be right as rain tomorrow. To train, but I'm taking tomorrow off. I'm not training. I train on Saturdays. I work out on Saturdays, and I do. I started doing arms because I remember I do the strong lifts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I've gotten real strong. I really have.
You're doing isolation exercises, huh? You're doing mirror muscle exercises.
Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Oh well. Now on Saturdays, then I'll do arms and I do shrugs. I like doing shrugs. I don't know why. I just like it. So I'm doing 3 plates on each side, 3 45s, and I do 4 sets of 12. And I don't know why I like it. I like doing shrugs, and then I do my arms. But I tore my bicep last year.
Oh.
So I do bis and tries and because Matthew does. So I'm like, I'll go with you. And I love working out my son. He's 16. He's a wrestler.
That's cool.
So, he doesn't really get a chance to work out with me during the week because he's working out at school, getting ready for the season.
Sure.
So and he does squats and stuff. He does squats and the deadlifts and deadlifts and the shoulder press,
overhead press,
rows. Yep. That stuff and he does that, but they've got him on a regime for school, obviously. So whatever the regime is, that's what he's doing. But on Saturdays, then we work out together. So I'm like also working out some arms.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. All right, I'm giving you a pass on that then.
Thank you.
Adam, thank you for that $4.99 super chat. Names too long. Alternate. Ghosts of the Keys, Tropic Terror, Monster of Matecumbe.
Ooh.
I say
Grant,
no. The
well,
Ghosts of
Graham,
Matecumbe Key.
for the uninitiative, why don't you give us a rundown of what the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key is all about?
Well, it's about 64 pages.
Excellent.
No, it'll be longer than that, actually.
Oh, really? You go.
Yeah, one of the stretch goals is going to have a 10-page addition to it, and I can't tell anybody what it is, because if I do, it'll spoil the ending. So I think once we hit 100K, that's going to kick in. So it's going to be at least 74 pages. Well, you can't have 74.
No, 72.
78, 72. Right.
Yeah.
Well, it actually will be more than that. So we'll have to add another 4 pages or 8. What is it?
So you're talking 80?
It'll be 80 pages. It'd be 80.
80.
Yep, you have to add 8 pages. So it'll probably be 80 pages when all is said and done. But anyway, the basic story is about there are 2 crimes. There's a crime that happens in 1935, and there's a crime that happens today. The crime today exposes the crime and disturbs the ghosts from 1935, and they come, or at least one of them comes, seeking help and retribution. And Misty Fahrenheit and
love it, dude, love it.
Yeah, Misty Fahrenheit and Mike Meathead Rutowski are 2 private investigators. They have connections to other organizations, which will become apparent when the story unfolds. But Misty is sort of a mystic. She is in touch with the spiritual world. So like if somebody comes to her door, she'll say something before somebody knocks. She goes, there's a soul at our door. She can sense that. And so the ghosts can sense that sensibility too, and they reach out to her. And so the 2 of them have to uncover the mystery of 1935, and also the how to punish the criminals of today at the same time. So you've got a couple stories going on concurrently that will all come together. And
now I love this idea. Now, reading your past books, and I know one is a monster film and one might be a sci-fi film, but Misty having sort of this spiritual connection to the undead or whatever, or the macabre, if you will. I'm sure she might have had some run-ins with some sort of monsters, maybe. Is it possible we'll see these 2 again?
Oh,
Misty
absolutely.
And Meathead again?
Misty and Meathead, I'm introducing them in this book, but they're going to go on to other stories. I fully want to include them in other things. So this is basically a setup to introduce these new characters. And do you know who she's based on?
No. Who?
Elizabeth Montgomery.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that face now.
Dude, oh my God, absolutely. There's pictures of Elizabeth Montgomery in the early 60s pinup photos of her.
Yeah.
There's one of her like in a Christmas. She has to have top 5 greatest legs in Hollywood. If you look at her, there's one shot of her, and I've drawn it before, that's why I know it. And she's like getting into a chimney. It's a Christmas thing, and she dynamite, knockout. Oh my God.
I'm going to share something here.
Yes, please do. We should talk about starlets. And
here's I came across this thing. Let me remove that. Stop the screen here and share this one here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Isn't that great?
So great.
Such great expressions.
Yep. And Montgomery, that's a Scottish name.
Yeah. You know who her father was, right?
Yeah. No, who?
George Montgomery.
Really?
The actor.
Look at that. Dynamite. Look at that. Redhead.
Ex-Marine.
Really? Was he?
Yeah, he was World War II.
Now, I shared a video. I don't know if you want to do this. And if you don't, it's all cool. But you got me.
Hold on. I got to do this.
Oh, my.
There she is.
Dude. Oh, my God. Do you have oh, my.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so going to get a girlfriend like that.
That's my Misty.
Perfect. Because she was tough.
Paul Ford, thank you, Paul Organ, for that $4.99 super chat. Secret tier doesn't give cover B add-on, just creature feature. Yeah, well, people were asking for the secret tier, or the original secret tier was just cover A, and then people said, "Well, I wanted to get the the whole Nolan package one," so I put that one on there, and then I put the creature feature one. Nobody's asked for cover B before. But if that's something that you need, or if you just get the creature feature one so that you can get the cards, you can add the cover B at checkout, because all that stuff is what they call it, add-ons, I guess. Yeah. Rock and Welch was an absolute smoke show.
Lord.
Here on the Steadfast, thank you for that $5.
She still is. You know, Graham, I don't know if you know, you have what a great crowd. You have the one and only Dan Lawless in the chat. You got Tom Tuttle, who's a prince of a man.
Yeah, we got a good crowd here.
These great people you got in here.
Oh yeah,
we got Kevin Thomas, Bilbo. I mean, well done.
Yeah, we got over 150 people watching just on Facebook, I think.
Yeah.
So even more through YouTube. So yeah, it's a great crowd. And I want to thank all of you guys for coming in here and supporting the book and just hanging out with us and talking about fun shit like monsters and
let's talk about
Halloween
and games. I got to grab that picture of Elizabeth Montgomery that I love.
You sent me something in the private chat. Do you want me to open it?
Well, it is a video of a ghost in a hotel. Now, okay. I don't know if you're going to get a strike. That's why I want to talk to you about it before.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you will, but it's a recording of the security guy and of a ghost in a room. And then you see this image, you see this specter running out of the room after the guy goes in.
Oh yeah.
It's but I don't know, you know what I mean, how these things work, because I get in trouble all the time on my show. I post things. But it's creepy as hell.
Robert,
it's like a 2-minute video.
Not George, my bad. Okay. And this is YouTube, you said?
It's on YouTube, yeah.
Okay.
But I figure while we're talking ghosts, it is Halloween, right?
Yeah, where did my
okay, there's that picture. Oh my God. Look at this. Hang on. Before that, let me share this. Hang on to you. Share the second one I'm sending you first, because you're not getting in trouble for that at all.
Okay.
But man, oh man.
You're putting this in the private chat?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay.
Hang on.
I'll just take
I got to switch back.
My Woodford Reserve while you're doing that.
Nope, it's the same thing. I made a mistake. Hang on. I made a mistake. Dang it. Come on, for goodness sakes. Controls. You know, I'm a Mac guy, but I go from my Mac to my PC because I stream on my PC.
Oh, okay.
And it just seems you go through a billion different.
There it is.
You have to go through so many more steps for a friggin' PC than a Mac. It drives me nuts. It's my one I just posted.
Okay, got it.
The Flickr.
Got it. It might be easier if you share it.
Oh yeah, I could do it. Okay.
Do that.
Why not? Chrome tab. I can share both. I can show the video too if you want. There you go. Oh, look at that, dude.
Swing.
Oh my God, look at that. Are you kidding me?
It's her face that kills me. She just has this gorgeous face.
Yeah, look, she has that little upturned nose, very Romita, you know?
Yep.
But
Has
look at that, right? But look at her leg. Look at that leg,
yeah,
dude. Oh my god,
yeah,
it's like
that's a
the
beauty.
80s. Look at
Yeah,
that. That's
the
like a
outfit doesn't
perfect.
do her. The outfit doesn't do her any favors. It makes her look thick around the middle.
Yeah, but
Uh,
so ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of that. But I mean, but look at that.
but I know she's not either.
Yeah,
So
wunderbar.
yeah.
And then I can share the video if you want, or you want
Hey,
to do
look
it.
who's here! Elvis is
Hey,
in the
bro!
house.
Dude,
Hey, what's up, Dan?
Genius.
how you doing, guys?
Good. Thanks for coming.
I
in.
went to a wedding in Arizona last weekend, and they had one of those photo ops with a VW van and stuff, and everyone piled in, and they had these glasses,
Hell yeah, man.
and I ended up like wearing them all night. I actually asked the lady, I said, "Can I actually wear these for a while?"
He looks like Elvis when he met the president.
He
and
does.
asked for a badge.
Nixon. He looked like Nixon. I love the hair, dude. Keep growing the hair,
Yeah.
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 Well, I can't naturally grow any hair on my face. I'm a baby face, you know.
dude. Me too. I shaved yesterday. Look. Yesterday morning I shaved.
But somebody said Roy Orbison. I think I'm more Roy Orbison than Elvis. Actually,
I don't know. I think you could pull up Elvis. Give us one of these.
Hey,
Give him a lip.
hey.
Oh.
You need that bowl haircut to rock the Roy Orbison look.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Doc Ock.
I'll have to
Yes,
ask,
the Doc
I'll
Ock.
have to ask my hairstylist next time I go in there. So.
Oh, I wish I was. In the land of cotton.
Oh man! So we're talking about monster movies and Elizabeth
Oh.
Montgomery and
Chicks.
all kinds of fun stuff.
She's a cutie.
She is.
She's
She's a
cute.
doll.
Would she do this, right?
Oh well, yeah. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So
Remember we would sick home from school. I mean, I don't know if you watched Bewitched at night, but we were sick home from school. And you'd watch Bewitched, when you didn't go to school. And that's when I fell in love with Paul Lynde.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
What?
Wait a
What'd I
minute.
say?
Back
I
up.
thought it was
Back it up.
Hollywood
Paul
Squares.
Lynde is awesome.
Just exactly how much love we're talking about here.
Dan, are you
Paul Lynde
that
and
poor little
Liberace.
boy? Are you that poor little boy with the runny nose who plays in the street when the cold wind blows? Is that you?
Yeah,
In
sure,
the
why not?
ghetto.
Then one day in desperation, the young man works for him.
Oh yeah.
He
Buys a gun,
steals a car,
steals a car,
tries to run, but it don't get
far.
Well, it's
And
kind of like
then
that, except
on a
I was like 7 of 8 kids in a Catholic family, so that's kind of the same thing, you know.
Yeah, you had to fight. You had to fight for that last peanut butter and jelly sandwich, didn't you,
Yeah.
buddy?
To this
And didn't
day,
get steak, he
if
got
you
the bone.
get us all together, like my wife just like she came over once to one of my family get-togethers, and they put a bowl of chips and salsa out or something like that, and she goes, "Oh my God, they just like everybody descended upon these bowl of chips and like ate the whole thing."
Like locusts.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of what happens. If you didn't eat now, if you didn't eat right that moment, you got no food, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like little scraps, you know.
I tried to take a piece of steak off my brother's plate one time and he stabbed me with his fork. Hey,
That's
what
great.
you
So
do.
my sister, my brother
Good old
Joey.
days.
So my mother was working and my sister had to make us dinner or whatever, and she made dinner and we're sitting there. She was probably a senior. My brother Joey's a junior. My brother Vinny's a sophomore, and I'm 6 years younger than him. But I don't know, 6th grade, whatever, 5th grade. And we were teasing my sister because she made a terrible dinner, right? And my sister's sitting there, and she made chicken cutlet some, and she's got a steak knife. And my sister's, everyone in my family's tall, right? They're all super, my sister's 5'10". My brothers are 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", maybe bigger. And so my brother Joey, they would tease my sister, and she's like, "You motherfucker!" And she's holding the steak knife like this, and she goes, "I'm gonna fucking throw this at you." My brother, and now he's at the other end of the dinner table. You know what I mean? And we're just teasing, and she goes, "Motherfucker!" And she throws a fucking snake knife at him, and he goes like this and sticks in the wall.
Oh,
Then he gets up, and she starts chasing him, and he's running around the house, and he slips, and he hits the corner of one of the walls and splits his chin. Whatever.
Oh my
And
God.
then we had to take him to the hospital. My mother, he had like 10 stitches, right? Split.
Oh my God.
God, you gotta love the 70s, man.
I remember,
yeah.
I remember splitting my earlobe on one of those, stupid Formica desks they used to have in the
Yeah.
old days. Like, so I had a gun that was made of Elsie sticks, and I was like, my sister was coming up the stairs. I'm like, I'm ready to ambush her, and like, so I, dashed behind the door, and I slipped and fell, and just fell flat on my earlobe and split the damn thing in half,
Oh
with
my God.
this sharp thing. I'm bleeding all over the place.
It seems like
They
whenever
had
you get a
to
bunch of
stitch me up. They had to stitch up my earlobe.
whenever you get a bunch of boys together, there's going to be stitches somewhere.
Yeah.
Like my parents had these close friends, and they had all boys, and they would go over and hang out and have cocktails. You remember, it was the 60s and 70s. Everybody had
Yeah.
cocktail hours and stuff.
And pipes.
And so the boys would all go up to the one of the kids' rooms, and we would turn the lights off and play Kill the Man. So everybody would be up against a wall. You turn the light off and you just feel around in the dark until you grab somebody, and then you beat the shit out of them, And so, we're doing this in there, and my brother falls, and he hits his chin against the brass drawer handle, and his chin busts the brass thing. But his chin started to swell up like this. Now we got to go down and interrupt cocktail hour to tell them. And
he's looking like the Elephant Man.
Yeah, he's coming down. I'm not a monster.
Nice to meet you.
I'm a man.
The name is Young Medic.
Oh, so they were not happy. Then another time we're playing, we're at a restaurant, and they send us out to the parking lot, and we're fucking around out in the parking lot wrestling and stuff. And I got knocked down, and I fell behind a railroad tie, and my hand went down, and I came up, and my whole hand right from here over was just cut open. There must have been a nail or something. Now we got to go in the restaurant and say, we got to go back to the emergency room.
Yeah. Dude, things are way different, man. Things are way different.
I don't know. They play video games. They simulate everything now. It's like, what?
I remember
one time I went to to school, and I had a big bulging eye and a shiner and everything, and it stitches on my forehead and stuff. And I said, what happened? Like, well, I ran into a tree, and like, oh, in a car or on your bike? No, I literally ran into a tree. Like
why?
My brothers were chasing me with snowballs, and I had hit them, and I turned around, and I just sort of ran into the tree. Of course, the tree didn't move. I did, but and then
trees never move.
I just remember looking at like drops of blood in the snow, like, oops, what's that? So I had stitches, but it looked kind of cool. Like I had been in a boxer fight. Like I was like,
dude.
I was like badass. Like it was, it was all swollen and bad. Like, yeah, man.
Everybody wants that G.I. Joe scar.
It's so funny. The difference between girls and guys. Like a girl will be like, "Oh my god, my god," and the guy's like, "Ooh, that's cool, man." Like
when we lived on Long Island, we had a made guy that lived on the corner, and I think he was with the Gambino crime family, and he's like
Long Beach.
Yeah, he's like three doors down. And my dad was a homicide detective, and the two of them knew each other, and there would be block parties and shit, and hey, business is business, would just keep it clean until I have to knock on your door type of thing. Anyway, this guy had this crazy dog that was part German Shepherd, part Saint Bernard. And it was always chained up. It was a big dog. It was always chained up. And whenever you walk by, the thing was like, And so one day, my brother and I are out on the front lawn, and we're wrestling around and stuff. And my brother looks up, and I see this look of fear on his face, and he gets up and starts running, right? And so I'm still on the ground.
Left you, right? He just left you.
Oh, yeah. He just,
and so he doesn't have to outrun whatever's coming after him. He just has to outrun you.
Got to outrun me. So I stand up, I turn, and this freaking dog jumps on me and bites me in the ribs.
Oh.
Right? So my mom calls the the police department, and my dad shows up in his unmarked car with his partner, and they're going to take me over to the hospital. Well, we're on our way, and he gets a call, and he has to go into this tenement building and bring this guy out. So I'm sitting in the front seat like this, bleeding. And my dad goes up there, brings this guy in, throws his hippie in the back seat. And the guy looks up and he sees me bleeding in the front seat. And he goes, "Hey, man, what'd the kid do?"
Oh, my God.
So
you better watch out, buddy. We're going to take care of you.
Yeah, you're next.
Look what we do to a kid. We'll
Yeah,
do that to
the
you.
kid.
So
They should have said, "I shot this kid in
Yeah.
his ribs."
This kid was jaywalking. That's nothing compared to
Yeah.
So
He looked me the wrong way.
they take me to the hospital. They go in there. They come back out, and the dude's gone. And he's got my
The
dad's
hippie's
cuffs.
gone.
Yeah, the hippie's gone. And he's got my dad's cuffs. Yeah, and you don't lose your cuffs because they're serial marked. You don't lose your cuffs and you don't lose your gun.
Oh my God.
And so they had to go searching all over to find this guy. They finally found him, and they threw him in the backseat of the car, and they gave him what they used to call a Nantucket sleigh ride. This is where you didn't seatbelt your guy in. He's handcuffed behind his back, and you drive all over, jam on the brakes, and bam, he comes up into the grill.
like
and all
Papa
that
Doyle in a
Oh, yeah.
Connection.
Yeah, exactly. So this is back in the late 60s, you know. You
Yeah.
can never get away with that shit now. So they bring him up to the desk sergeant, and he goes, "What happened to this guy?" "Hey, he fell."
Yeah.
He fell.
Well, can I tell a story? I know.
Hold
told
on, I just got to
sorry.
finish it because there's
Sorry,
a little bit more. About 5 months later, I'm sitting across the street minding my own business, and this dog gets out again, and he comes running right up to me, and bites me again.
Oh,
Bites me on the arm.
oh my.
And I'm like, "What the fuck?" You know? So, yeah, I didn't need a tetanus shot this time because I had one from the last one. And I didn't need stitches.
Go
or
ahead,
anything
play
like
it
that.
away, kid.
But, you know, so years later, you know, the dog disappeared. And I figured, well, they just must have gotten rid of him after that. And my dad was over, and he's talking to me, you know, and I'm a grown man now. And I said, "Whatever happened to that dog?" And he got this funny look on his face. And he goes, "Hmm?"
Yeah.
And then he tells me he went down to the pound and showed his shield to the guy. He says, "Where's the such and such dog?" He shows his shield, and he goes up to him and he pulled his 38 out and shot the dog.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
And then he went back to the Gambino guy, rang his doorbell, and told him he just shot his dog.
That's
Whoa.
fucking badass, dude.
Yeah.
That's so
It was
badass.
pretty bad.
Gotta love
And the guy said, "You know, I understand, detective. You know, street law. He understood. You know, you bite
bite my
bite
kid
somebody's
twice.
twice.
Yeah.
You know, dog had to go. You know,
But I bet you the Gambino guy was like, "Holy shit," and respected your dad,
right?
and way more that he actually went up and told him.
Yeah,
And had
probably.
the balls to tell him, like, "Listen,
Yeah.
I love dogs. You know,
Mhm.
we don't have a problem. You know, you know, but your dog bit my kid twice. So
Yep.
sorry, your dog's
Yeah.
dead."
Yep.
Yeah.
So
You know, I remember
Well,
once
Mike, tell a
I
story.
was a paper boy, and they had a pretty ferocious dog, and you can get all the dogs on these paper routes. But anyways, this was a pretty ferocious dog, and it always came and just smashed against the door or window and stuff like that whenever you were dropping off the paper and stuff. And there was one time that it came just smashing against the door, and the door opened, and like it sort of like just went open, and it just sort of stood, and we looked at each other as the door kind of swung open, and then it kind of came back on its spring,
Axis.
whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just
Yeah.
the dog and I looked at it for a second, like the dog was surprised, like, "Oh my God, you're right there." But
Yeah, the dog's like, "Holy shit.
This is real.
Like, get
This is actually happening." And so that door shut, I like slam that thing shut, and then go and smashing against the door. But just for a second, there was like this, like, the holy grail of paper boys is exposed to me, but didn't know what to do with it, you know. Oh.
That's wow. So I have a story so my sister married her junior high school sweetheart. So my brother-in-law Vinny and my sister have been married. Like I get because I'm drinking the wine. They've been married since 1978. So next door to my brother-in-law, though, in probably 1975, I was probably I think I was in third grade, somewhere second to third grade or whatever. And that there was a house fire next to my brother-in-law's house, and this boy died who was our age. He went to a different elementary school, but he was our age. The rumor, though, was that they took the boy's body out, but the boy got out of the house. Oh shit, Graham!
Oh, so close.
Oh my god!
I can't see anything in his glasses.
Because 30,000 is a bad luck number. We have to pass that.
We're $90 away from 31,000. Oh wait, and we're only one backer away from 450.
Oh,
come on, those numbers are bad.
Come on, guys. Share, guys. Listen, guys. I know a lot of you have already pledged for this. Share it out on your social media. Tell your mom. Tell your hot sister. You know. Get your old girlfriend, just say, hey.
Tell your friends and your enemies.
That's right. Tell your enemies, man.
And what could be better than a ghost story at the beginning of Halloween?
That's right.
Yes.
And what everyone knows that Graham Nolan delivers on his damn campaigns.
Oh yeah.
Julie
was Dan Wallace on here. Dan, we got to talk about my next campaign, all right? Because you have to do a cover for me too.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Have you seen my Black Terror pinup for Bond?
No. Do you want to share that?
You want to share it?
Let me see. I might have to switch to my non-cool glasses. Hang on a second.
There you go. All right, so can I tell my story, Graham, real quick while Dan's doing it?
Go ahead.
So this house fire happens. I think I'm going to third to fourth grade, a second to third grade. Because remember when you're 7, 8 years old in this early 70s, you could ride your bike anywhere. We went anywhere.
Yeah.
So this was like a mile away from my house, And me and my friend Dennis Shaw decide. So the rumor is that the boy got out of the house, but then ran back into the house to save his dog. And that's where he died.
That's how he got killed?
The thing is that I don't think it's true. I think the boy just died in the house. He just got trapped and he died, which is crazy as a father because I would have died too. If my kids are in the house, there's no way I'm not going to come out with them.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the rumor was that the boy's out, but the dog is still in the house. So this is a total, this house is gutted. It is like just imagine an entire 1950s 60s double whatever high ranch house fire, and then all the neighborhood kids decide we're going to go in there, not all of them, maybe 5 of us, we're going to go in and look for this dog in this going over the police lines and stuff. Who cares, looking for this dog. So I don't come home for lunch, and my sister ends up calling my mother that Billy didn't come home for lunch. And I'll give you a story about why my sister panicked like that. She's probably 13, babysitting us. My mother calls the police, right? So all of a sudden, so we're trying to find this dog. Never found the dog ever, but we're going through, literally walking through this decrepit shit. I could have collapsed on us and killed us all. It's probably 5 or 6 boys. Remember, Graham? You talk about boys. What?
Oh yeah.
So all of a sudden, my friend comes up and she's like, Billy. And she's like, your mother is there are cops at your house. Everyone's looking for you. I'm like, oh my God. I get on my bike, pedaling back, and I see 2-3 cop cars in my house, right? I'm like, oh my God. I walk in, dude, and there in my living room was my mother sitting there, my sister, and cops. You know what I mean? My mother grabs me and beats the living shit out of me like I've never been beaten before in my life. Like, kick the shit out of it. This is probably, now, Graham, I don't know whatever time lunch is, maybe 12, 1 o'clock, but this has to be like 2:30 or so, right? So my sister Pat, the cops, my mother kicks the shit out of me like today she would have been arrested, sort of thing. The cops take me upstairs to my bedroom and I'm crying. I got an egg on my fucking face like this, where she hit me, right? And I'm sitting, and he's like, Billy, calm down like that. And I remember I'm sitting on my bed, he's kneeling, looking at me, this police officer, and he's like, you know why your mother hit you, right? I'm like, no. Why? He's like, she hit you because she loves you.
That's hard to swallow.
It's true though. It's true.
And that's it.
It is true.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Dude.
Nice.
Yeah,
Can you blow that up a little bit, Dan?
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh my
now
God,
slide
Dan.
down.
Dan, I love, like you said, you talk about,
Yeah.
we had this
Nice.
conversation before that you know that you're a fan of Frazetta and
Yep.
all great painters, Pyle, Wyeth, great illustrators. When people color flesh and stuff like that, Frazetta did it. A bunch of it's just not various shades of creams to browns or whatever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There are greens
They're
and
variation.
purples and beautiful. Oh,
Yeah. It's not rocket science. You put some blues in the overcast shadow. You put some. It's really reds on the nose and the cheeks and a bit of a forehead.
look at
and
that
the lips.
chin, Graham. Look at
It's
the colors
where
of
the
that
blood,
chin.
Yeah.
in your ears. It's where if you look at someone, you look at photograph, you look at in reality, watch somebody. I was at a wedding this weekend, or the past weekend, and I saw the person standing there, like, gosh, his ear is so much redder than the rest of his face. It's where the blood is thinnest, and you can see through the skin. The color variation exists in reality, and you have to kind of capture it and then enhance it, and it's a caricature of reality.
Brilliant.
So that's what makes it interesting. That's why Frazetta is interesting and things like that. So
now I know we talked about this earlier on Ethan's stream in Graham's mid-launch, but what's this from again?
Black Terror is an old comic
No, I know
book
who
character.
that is, but what's it for?
This is just a pinup for he's going to do as a mini print. And
Who is you?
Von.
Von
Klaus.
Yeah, Von
Oh,
Klaus.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a cool name, Von Klaus.
Oh, I know.
I know.
It's almost as cool as Lawless, but not quite.
Lawless is badass, dude. You're an outlaw, man.
I know.
Here we go.
There we go.
31 and 452 backers. Woo, we got out of that 449 number.
Though, Graham Nolan, I got to tell you, though, odd numbers are bad luck. 31,000, that's not a good number. We need 32. We need a nice, even number. You can't have 31, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You need 32.
Listen to the teen sensation, people. This is important.
I'm telling this from my soul.
Yes. And as Misty would say, she could read your soul.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And
you guys, what's great about all this stuff is just like we are dialed into the old style, like non-political crap, where it's just fun entertainment. This is a ghost story, a spooky story. You're not going to get preached to. You're just going to have fun. I mean, if you want to watch political crap, turn on the news, watch all those news things. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody. Yeah. They want to just have fun, and this is where they find it now. You can't find it at Marvel and DC anymore. I'm sorry to say, that's over. The nails are in the coffin. It's done. Now it's the independence is where you have to go, and you get it delivered directly to your doorstep. I mean, that's great. It's fun, and then you can talk to us. That's another thing that's really new for this new media is you can talk to. If you don't like it, you can go to Graham and say, "I didn't like it." Right in the stream.
Cool, right?
You're going to pay the price for saying that, but you can do it.
But then again, Graham, like what we're doing here is that, Graham, you are held accountable for your work and for your actions. If you're working for the mainstream and you are the big two and you are in the club, there's no accountability. Not at all, because they say that, and someone had posted, forgive me who it was, but someone had posted about your art and writing that if you are good, it doesn't matter where you came from, what you look like, what your sexual persuasion is, how you identify is. If the work is good, that's what you ultimately judged on. But in the mainstream, that's not the case.
No,
they're still hiring people that are failures. They've proven themselves failures time and time again, and they're still giving big characters big work. There is no meritocracy anymore. Meritocracy. How do you say meritocracy? Yeah, there is none of that. It's almost like it's like who I am rather than what I can do these days. And that's not just, you can't sustain that.
No.
You can't. And also those people are not making a very good living too. And not saying that we're making very good livings, but we all have responsibilities. I have a wife, I have 2 boys, I have a mortgage, I have to take care of my family. That's what I have to do. So if I don't deliver, I'm not going to be able to take care of my family
Yeah.
because I don't have that 800-pound gorilla behind me to protect me.
Hey, whatever happened to caring about the little guy? I thought the the Democrats and all that, they were always about the little guy. We are the little guy. We are the blue collar workers. We're putting our time in. We're working hard, but they'll go to some far part of the world where they can pay peanuts to some guy
Yeah.
or girl to to undercut us and bring wages way down for everybody. And it's like, that is just not cool. So I mean, they don't care. They don't care.
Yeah.
So it's like this is
not only that, they are champions of major corporations now.
Yes.
They're not
Oh
for the
my
little
God.
guy. I mean, look at over here that the Metropolis was on today. They are the ones that are for the corporation. The big cog
the
machine
fat cats that they supposedly hate.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, they're for that. They're defending these major corporations over individual creators and individual creator voices.
Yeah.
It's astonishing. And they're supposed to be they're the progressive ones and all that. Nothing but nothing. We're the progressive ones. We're the outlaws.
That's right.
We're the ones that are doing it.
Here's the thing, too, is that, when we discuss comics is an art form, and anything goes in an art form. If you want to do political polemics, that's fine. That's what your comic is. Where we draw the line and have our problem isn't that people are doing political comics, is they're disguising their political comics in superhero comics, which aren't supposed to be that way. If you want to do the story of, women's rights or something like that, or the Me Too movement, have at it. Do that comic and make it great and sell 1 million of them if you can. But you have to stand behind that when it fails as well. But what they're doing is they're taking their ideology and they're shoving it into these popular culture characters that kids love and kids that grew up loved, like us. And they're ruining them instead of doing the heavy work and standing behind their concepts and ideas and standing on their own merit. That's where we draw the line. We're not saying you can't do that or shouldn't do that. Anything goes in an art form. It's just that they're trying to co-opt something that they didn't create and ruin it, and they are ruining it. And sales back that up.
They're destroying something very special, which is the concept of the hero, which is self-sacrifice. Now they're going to self-indulgence, and that is what is it is a Christian concept of self-sacrificing love of Christ. Christ on the cross. The firemen run into the burning building to save someone they don't even know. Sure. That's a concept of the hero. No self-indulgence, no things for yourself. It's always about caring for the other person. That's the pure hero. And they're changing it. And when they put these causes in there, when they put these whatever it is, their agenda in it, they're just diluting the purity of just a wonderful heroic concept, which what everybody loves. Everybody loves it instinctively because it's part of who we are.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult to see that. But, the fact is, go ahead and do it, Marvel and DC, because we're here. We would love to take over for you and actually do this, and do characters that are really, that fill the bill. Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby, who got screwed out of their funds. Not anymore. In crowdfunding, the money goes directly to the creator. And so this is actually a much better situation. They're actually really helping us out a great deal. And we should be thankful to them. Really.
They're worried since they've been bought by these major corporations, I don't think the major corporations really give a shit about the publishing arm. And so people are being hired that don't give a shit about the publishing. And it's only about strip mining the IP. But I think what's going to happen is that all these characters are going to be licensed out eventually. And here's the big thing. And if this ever happens, it's all over but the crying for these guys. And that is they've been trying to avoid any kind of court cases which are going to put the work for hire contracts up in front of the Supreme Court. If that happens and they lose, then they are in up shit's creek.
Yeah, and that's their primary motivation for altering these characters is to screw out those creators or their families.
Right.
These guys are sitting there scratching out these men and women that had scratched out or typed out and poured their heart and their souls into it. And again, we all grew up as comic fans, and if I can go on a little bit of a diatribe, that it's time for us to not be emotional, to let that go.
Yes.
It's business. This is business, and they are our competitors, Marvel and DC. It's time to leave them because Jack Kirby's gone, Stan's gone, Ditko's gone. Thank God we have Roy Thomas still with us. That we have. But Neil Adams is gone. They're all gone.
Yeah, that second tier generation, the Roy Thomases, the Neil Adams, they're almost all gone now.
Yeah, so many we've
lost.
The Ditko family should have their own Caribbean island. It's just like the amount of money Spider-Man has created throughout the years is astronomical.
Billions.
So it's ridiculous that they didn't at least throw him a bone and give him some money from that.
Well, look at that. Also, what they've done to guys like Wally Wood and stuff like that. There's no reason at all that Wally Wood's life should have ended like he did, where he lived in his living conditions. It's insane.
Wasn't
Russ Heath?
Wasn't Gene Colan
in his final years?
Wasn't Gene Colan struggling at the end? Got the Hero Initiative and all that kind of stuff. What a phenomenal talent! Like all the entertainment that I got as a kid.
The fact that our business needs a Hero Initiative tells me that there's a problem. There should not be a Hero Initiative. It shouldn't have to exist because these people should have been taken care of. If people of decent morals were running these companies, they would look back at these ridiculous contracts and work for higher deals and say, you know what, we're making billions of dollars on this shit now. We really need to take care of the people. That's the right thing to do.
Yep. And again, that whole pencil down order that came in March April of 2020. Yeah. You have these corporations that are worth billions of dollars.
Right.
And you cannot afford this is how little they deem their creatives. This is how insignificant the cogs in their machines are, that they order these people who are making $100 a page. Letter is making $10 a page. Right? I mean, look at the fees they're paying them. They give an order to put pencils down, to stop working because the Diamond Comic Distributors has closed down after 2 weeks, and the comic shops are put on hold for. Remember, it was only 2 weeks to lessen the curve.
Yeah,
and they took that opportunity to tell everyone to stop working.
Right? Are you that close to the bone financially that you have to?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. No, I don't think they are. I think that they're saying they are, but there's plenty
the publishing part of it. Yeah.
And here's another
those editors didn't put their editing pencils down.
Yeah.
Right.
People on salary didn't put anything down.
Yeah.
There was a time when you used to work ahead and get stuff in inventory for reasons like this, so that you had stuff to publish if necessary. Right. To say put pencils down is to say we're not opening our doors again, but you're going to open your doors again, and with your pencils down, now you're behind the 8 ball because nothing has been gotten done.
Right, but this is not Graham Nolan, but this is not Graham and Julie Nolan running Compass Comics out of their home.
It's right on.
You know what I mean? These are multi-billion-dollar conglomerates, publicly traded companies.
Hey, so's Compass Comics, pal. I just haven't let everybody know.
Yes, but another thing though is that then you have this is out to our fellow creatives who are defending said companies, and that they are, the hero historically has been very reactive. Heroes are reactive.
Yeah.
Right. They're the ones that have to step up. Like, this is wrong. Now we have to stand up to this. We have to stand up to do things. A lot of these people on Twitter, mostly Twitter, and Facebook to some extent, they're the bad guys. They're the supervillains. You go after fellow creatives because who they voted for or whatever you perceive them to be. You attack people, and then these people respond and defend themselves. Many of them alpha males that you're going to say something about, you're going to try to destroy me or hurt my family. Now we have a problem. And they'll come back, and then all of a sudden they have to turn around and become victims now all of a sudden. White knighting. You don't need white knights. These people do not need white knights. You're not the white knight. You are the vagabond.
Shill.
Yeah, you are the shill. You are the coward. You're the ones that are creating heroes because the heroes are the ones who are reactive and they respond to attacks and stuff. These are grown men in their 50s, and you're attacking fellow creatives.
Yeah,
and
what
putting
I
their-
say? What
their
happened to
art
what
in
happened to
quotes
the
and stuff like
traditional
that?
left wing who said they were for the little guy? What happened to that? It seems like it just went out the window in 2 seconds. It's gone.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they're for corporations. Like I think it's because they found that corporations can forward their stupid agendas, whatever they are.
I
And-
don't think
and-
they were ever for the little guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think that was more of a boondoggle than anything to make them feel good. I don't think they're ever for
Well,
the little
it's
guy,
just
because
power.
It's like saying that socialism and communism is about the little guy
Yeah.
when you know it's not.
Well,
It's
it
about
it
power.
sounds. I think it's about these socialism. It sounds wonderful first. Oh, share everything. Oh, but of course, it never works out that way. It ends up being the only, the everyone's poor is what it comes down to.
No, not everybody. The leaders,
except for the top
for the
dog.
leaders. The leaders
Exactly.
are
They're god-awful
unbelievably
rich.
rich.
Well,
And
they're
that's-
useful idiots. And again, I'm sorry. I mean, they're useful idiots. And let's
Yeah.
face it, a lot of them that are out there, the voices screaming the loudest, they went to art school. They don't have MBAs. They didn't go to, to Ivy League schools. They didn't go, they went to, they're cartoonists like us.
Yeah.
But they espouse themselves to be so brilliant, so much better than us, so much smarter than us, blah, blah, blah. They're the same people that think Robin Hood is a great liberal character.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
had a conversation with one of my really good friends who I adore to this day, and he's very left-wing, but he was aghast when I said that Robin Hood's one of the greatest conservative characters of all time. And it blew him away. He was all upset.
I never thought of it that way.
Oh, yeah.
I
And
always
he's like,
They
always-
sell Robin Hood as he robs from the rich to give to the poor. No. He takes back what the government stole
Yes.
to give back to the people.
right, and he's very pro Second Amendment, very arming.
Yeah.
He's very pro arming the citizenry against
Yeah.
the government. And
I
then and we
never
had-
thought
we had
of
a
it.
He's
great
not
time.
taken from the rich. The government
Yeah.
absconded with the money
Yes.
illegally, and he
Right.
went and got it back.
It's not
Yeah.
their fucking money.
Yeah.
And
You
they
guys-
used
you
that
guys-
money
you guys-
to
I-
bribe a foreign nation. He was Prince John was an agent for a foreign nation, for Austria.
I always thought of it as the left wing perspective until you guys had been talking about this. This is the first time I heard you guys mention it before. Oh my God, you're right. You're absolutely
Think
right.
about it. Yeah, he robbed.
Now I
them
love
nothing.
Robin Hood again.
He paid the people their money back.
We should all watch Errol Flynn
Yes.
and the Eric Korngold music.
Oh God, what Academy Award 1938 for that score.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. That's my favorite film of all time. Yeah, The Adventures of Robin Hood is my favorite film of all time.
Is it? It's a great one.
Yep,
This is
really
So
is.
how about this crowdfunding shit? I mean, it's amazing.
So Dan,
Talking-
what are we gonna have? Dan Lawless's
I'm
Triple
gonna,
X?
but right now I'm having a ball, just kind of helping out everybody and trying to raise the all the other if I can strengthen other people's campaigns. The great thing is it's a win-win. If I can kind of do some covers and pinups and stuff, and it builds up the whole community. Then when it's my time, they'll be around. They won't be out of business to help me out. So it's really, we're all helping each other out,
Yep.
and it's really this is a real community. This is an actual neighborhood of
Mhm.
people who care about people, and we really push each other's books. And we're also, have you guys noticed the drive that you feel artistically? Just like that Vaughn piece I just showed you guys. Like, I'm so jazzed to show you guys that, because I worked really hard and and I'm pushing myself, beyond what I think I can do, because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to say, look what I did,
Now imagine if you got a call from Marvel who said, "Hey, we've got the Black Terror rights. Why don't you do a cover?" And what we're thinking of is the Black Terror is kissing this dude, and we want to cover this, Dan. Imagine how your creative juices and your excitement would be for that assignment. Instead you draw this.
Here's the problem. It's
guns and knives and shit, and
when you're drawing some of this, it's almost like, you guys know, it's like a method acting. Like you feel like when I draw that terror, I am the Black Terror. I am Batman. And you're feeling that. You got to get into the character, and you're kind of like, I'm drawing. When you're a kid, you're like drawing stuff, going,
Oh yeah, especially army stuff, making all the guns.
Exactly. I would draw a picture, and it would be like, I'd literally draw one page, a picture, and it'd have army guys, and then there'd be alien ships coming in. They'd be shooting things, and at the end, I have a gigantic mess on the piece of paper.
Yeah.
It was one piece of paper, but there was an entire story that I told to myself as I was drawing this thing.
Boys, I gotta ask this: Do you guys do sound effects? Do you
Yes.
like
Oh, yeah.
openly while you're drawing?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Isn't that great?
It's so funny. My wife,
Okay.
Diane's like,
Hey,
she's like, how do you do I knew all the sound effects, like,
Yeah.
you know, like I know, like
Yeah.
I could do all the
Hey, I need an Ed McMahon here. I need an Ed McMahon to give me a timpani. There we go. Billy, you and my Ed McMahon? Okay, here we
Yeah,
go.
where's my mic?
31, 150.
All right.
All right, another backer.
But
Thank
guys,
you.
this is
when
bad
I
luck.
took
We
Spanish, it
need
wasn't-
to break 32,000 odd numbers. It's bad luck. It's bad luck. We need to
think we
do
just got another
32.
one.
We need to get this campaign to 32.
32 sounds good. It's a
Shane
good,
Davis
good
actually
football. It's a good football
texted
back,
me.
you know, like a Billy Sims kind of.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
Billy
also,
Sims number?
it's also an
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson number.
OJ Simpson. Yeah, well, that's not so
O.J.
good. Yeah.
Simpson.
Hey, you're talking
A
about
lot of quarterback, a lot of running backs for 32. So.
It's true.
Yeah, they
We're
were.
talking about sound effects. Have you noticed that women make the worst sound effects?
Oh my god, dude. Let's
Can they
talk
make?
about
I didn't
this.
know they could make sound effects.
No, oh my god, dude. Let's so talk about this, right?
Oh, yeah, this is great.
Here's my wife. How do you, okay, Graham Nolan,
Yeah.
you got a fucking gun. Shoot your gun. How do you do it? Show me. Do it again. Yeah. Debbie goes like this, right? And she goes, I'm like, Deb, this is like a hammer, like she goes, no, that's the sight.
Yeah.
She goes, I'm like, no, I need violence.
Yeah, and then like doing a bow and arrow.
Oh, but then again, God bless him, because when they fart, they go.
What? And we go.
Yeah, I remember when Dan Wallace and I were on the phone. I just hear. What about Andy Smith today on your show?
Yeah,
What's with Andy with the chair?
He blamed the chair.
What's up with that?
Yeah.
Flatulence.
Yeah,
He's got a problem.
he was either farting or he was going into warp drive.
Yeah. What's up? And echoing again.
Well, when I was a kid, I don't know about you guys, but like with my friends, when you just had gotten your first tape recorder, well, what did you do? You went, and you made fart noises in the tape recorder. Then played it back and just rolled on the floor with laughter,
So I was at FIT in a life drawing class, and we had a teacher, and she was this fashion illustration hippie. She was a wonderful woman, and she walked by, and my thing in college was I had everybody start doing, like, so I'm sitting there drawing like that, and she walks by and I go, and she stops. She goes, "Oh, that's okay."
We were out to dinner at this Mexican place one time, right? And I'm loaded up on burritos or most likely enchiladas for me, because that's my thing. So right in the same parking complex is like a CVS, and I had to go in there and get something. I don't know if we had to buy mouthwash, toothpaste, whatever it was. And I'm standing there, I'm looking at the stuff, and I have got this big gas buildup, right? So I let out this, like, not too loud, but freaking smoke bomb. It's
silent but deadly.
It goes, and I grabbed the thing. I grabbed the thing and I turn around, and there's a woman standing there right behind.
You crop dust her ass.
Whoa.
Her face is melting off, and I'm like, oh.
Bro.
Oh, it was so funny.
That's great.
I don't think my wife farts, actually.
Yeah, I've never heard.
How do they do that? They go to the bathroom and they don't even smell.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, because I asked her about that, and she said she gets up and she goes into the bathroom.
Yeah.
I've never heard her, like her, but my joke is always that when Debbie goes, And I'm like, sorry.
When I go, they need those radioactive signs, like the kind of crisscross graphic with the circle and that'll do it.
It's so funny because I met Julie the one time I met Julie. She strikes me as a very like a girly girl too, very nice and sweet, and my wife too is very girly girl. Debbie's like an indoor girl, and the thing I'm like, oh my God, if I marry her, I'm gonna have daughters. Well, I guess I love her, so what? Who cares? She gave me the two most animalistic, psychotic alpha male boys, and it's amazing that this little 5'3", you know what I mean? She's a boy mom. Like scream, you know what I mean? Like just this, and she's a Leo too. It's just like boys, and so like, and then they like defy her, and I'm like, dude, you don't know what are you doing?
Those moms are badass because one time my brother and I got into it in the living room. We're duking it out. We're punching each other in the face and everything. And my mother is screaming at us. She comes between us, and she stood about like 5'1", right? And she gets between us and goes whap whap. Whaps the two of us. Now the two of my brother and I are like wham wham, and she goes, yeah, and we're like. But meanwhile, like, you son of a bitch. but your mom slaps you and you're like, oh, Mom. That's the worst.
Now what's your mother's maiden name?
Rogers.
Oh, Rogers. Well, that sounds like a Scottish name too, though. I think you're Scott. I think you got a lot of Scott in you, buddy.
English. RODGEG.
Oh, ROD. Yeah, those are the Rogers we don't talk about.
Rogers, yeah.
That's like the Dixons with the CK, like the DICK. Sons, those are English.
I've never seen
Dixons with the X.
Dickinson. That's spelled that way, but
never. Yeah, those are the English. We don't like them. We like the Dixons with the X. For the
we don't like them. We don't like them, Billy, unless they're backing our project. And then we like them.
Any Dixons out there? Please back the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key.
Chuck.
I'm out. I gotta get a drink, so I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Dan, entertain us.
Sure.
What
do you think of this background, dudes? Like, this is.
I was just noticing those really cool pumpkins.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, you see, I have a child who's has an October birthday. So when that happened, like I always with my kids, I would do a theme party. I mean, I was one of those dads. So I mean, and Halloween meant all the kids dressed up. I remember once having I think there was 18 kids that came over for a Halloween party, and it's like, so I was decked out. But my Halloween decoration is not scary, not gory, not sever limbs. It's colors. It's fun. It's Charlie Brown kind of stuff,
And orange and purple is perfect. You don't need green.
Oh yeah, but you can. You mix. You can mix,
but you don't need. I mean, look at that.
Mix any colors you want. I mean, I got my where's my little electronics? But I can change it up. There we go.
Master Dan says he's more lit than Dan's room.
There you go. There's your green. The technology. Wait a minute. What happened to it?
Oh, he does have green. You had green. I apologize.
I don't see green.
No, he had green to the right. Yeah, the green looks great. It does.
I like the purple better.
I like the purple better, but the green looks good.
There you go.
Yeah, the purple and the orange are more complementary.
So, are you going to call your wife and like, hey, honey, what do you think of this?
No.
Play like the soundtrack to what's that Mad Monster Party, right?
Oh,
I have not seen. Everybody tells me I got to see that.
It's not great. It's not great.
Not great.
I know. That's all right.
You're gonna want to love the shit out of it.
Yeah,
it just doesn't happen.
And if you're a Wolfman fan or a Creature from the Black Lagoon fan, you're gonna despise it and hate it.
All right.
Yeah. You're gonna hate it. The beauty is these are Jack Davis and Harvey Kurtzman designs. It's got a great cast: Boris Karloff, Phyllis Diller, but the musical interludes are just cringy, and the pacing on it is so slow. The claymation stuff is great; it's fun and cute, but oh my god, the pacing!
But isn't it made for like an
The Boris
6-8-year-old?
armature is fantastic.
It's made for a 6 or 8 year old. I mean, just that mad.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
it's perfect for us. But
I mean, it's the same stuff. That, these are the guys that made Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Rudolph, and all that. Right?
Yeah,
The Rankin Bass.
Yeah, but they
Rankin
could have
Bass,
made
yeah.
Abbott and Costello.
I actually really
Frankenstein.
liked their animation, both the stop animation and they did the Hobbit. They did a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
They did, but this isn't one of them.
No.
Okay.
The chick was hot. Right? The chick who was like
Jessica?
Jessica, she was the same like Jessica from Santa Claus is
I
Coming.
think it's
Yeah,
Jessica.
yeah.
No, it's Francesca. It's
Francesca. She looked like Jessica from Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Mrs. Claus.
You know, now they change her
Right.
to they
and then
change
she
her to
turned into the crazy. Remember how awful were Santa and Mrs. Claus and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Holy shit!
Oh, he's such a prick.
She was a
Oh,
prick,
he
and
had
he was
such
a
a
prick,
good
and she was
lip
the
gloss,
meanest
too.
Sicilian woman you ever meet in your life.
Yeah.
She looked like my Aunt Fran.
what did he whatever she fed him, man, she got him fat fast.
Papa eat. What a miserable bastard.
She fed him HGH. That's what she fed him.
Yeah.
that guy put on the
MSG thrown
pounds.
in there too. Like, yeah, have these fried rice.
Yeah. And then he got happy. You know, he was this miserable prick because he was
He wasn't
that was-
happy,
that was
though.
you know,
the problem.
probably
Yeah,
eating salads instead of steaks.
Yes. He
Yeah,
just
she-
needed Rudolph to save the world. By George, Rudolph did save the world, didn't he?
Yeah, with his Chernobyl nose and
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah, that is not a very good life lessons for children watching that show.
No.
Oh my God.
Not really.
There's so much shit wrong with that.
It's
And
really
the worst thing is that Rudolph and what her name was Clarissa. What was his girlfriend's name?
Oh,
Their kids were mooses. He
Clarissa was actually pretty hot for a reindeer.
Chernobyl.
Clarissa was attractive, I thought, as a reindeer.
But you know
Like,
what?
Not a
funny
bad
is-
looking reindeer.
When you were a little kid, the Bumble, before he got his teeth pulled out and became, nice, was scary. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to get so scared by the Bumble. In fact, I think that part of my design for the Shinu is based on that.
Yeah, dude, totally is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
amped it up,
it's like 4-year-old Graham's perception of the Chinook was that Bumble.
Yes,
Isn't it funny how-
that's what I saw in my mind.
Yes.
Was the Shinu face?
Remember, you just sort of
Viscera and
behind
meat
that
hanging
roar.
off
Remember, it was like a gorilla or lion's roar. Remember
Yeah.
the roar of the Bumble?
Yeah, it was like screechy almost too.
Yeah, and then that was the commercial break. Then you're like, oh shit, what's coming on?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I want that Dolly Madison.
The what?
Dolly Madison cakes.
Yeah, they did the advertisement there.
Don't you remember the commercials? They'd break like when the Bumble was hanging over the mountain the first time you see him.
Oh, coming up, you see his eyes.
They were sponsored by Dolly Madison.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
kid, you're traumatized. Now let's comfort you with sugar and
Yeah.
fat.
Here's a fatty sugar.
I wonder why Americans are all fat like that.
Yeah, that's like TJ James Bumble's bounce. Yeah, that's what you want to feed a kid at 8:00 on a Tuesday night. Is like, hey, eat this
Sugar.
Dolly Madison cake.
Have some sugar.
Isn't it funny how all that stuff goes into the mix, though? Like, this is why I encourage anybody who's getting into comics. Look at all the old stuff. Absorb all that stuff. Absorb not just the new stuff, but the Wally Wood and the whatever the Frazetta and the Wrights, and take all that information, because I don't know if they're seeing it. You guys, we know of it, but are they seeing it? Because I don't see it in the comics. I mean, who has there ever been a duplicate of Gene Colan? Where's the clone of Gene Colan? You got clones of Jim Lee all over the place, or Rob Liefeld, but where's the Gene Colan clone? I want to see that clone, because that guy had a unique style, which is in his storytelling and his, he would I'm sure he must have looked at photographs, because his stuff is photorealistic in many ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was just fantastic. So use your imagination, draw from a lot of these sources, and actually absorb this stuff. And I want to see this next generation of comic creators coming out doing really, really great stuff. But I tell you, the crowdfunding is the way to do it. You go directly to the fans, you listen exactly to your responses, and you find out what's good. And I anticipate, even if it's not us, the next generation of comic book creators through crowdfunding is going to be phenomenal because you can take, you can work on something for a while, not just one, a monthly comic. You can't do a great comic book in a month. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure because a lot of them is that new generation. They don't work. They don't. My son works. So my oldest son wanted to be a welder, and he's a fully certified welder. He's got a great job, and he's 20 years old, and he's kicking ass. But he's a very hands-on. He's just like my father-in-law. He loves, motors. He loves working with his hands. He's, you know what I mean? Like he is, and he's very adult for his age. But he's 20 years old. But he's like 20 years old when we were 20-year-olds. Kids 20-year-olds today are not like when we were 20-year-olds. No. And the argument can be that we were not 20-year-olds when, 20 years, 40 years earlier, at that level, the guys fought in World War II. But his friends are like babies. They are. His friends at the same age, and they're going to school and all like that. They don't even do their laundry still on their own. And these are boys. It's crazy. So I really don't think, I think we're the ones. I'm not encouraged about the next slew of crowdfunders because can they put together this book? Can they be here on a Saturday night when we could be taking our girls to see Phantom of the Opera, right, Graham? Again. No, that we're here working. You know what I mean? We're out here promoting. We're working, right?
Yeah.
Graham's been working since 11 a.m. promoting. He's not drawing. He's not writing. He's not doing production stuff. He's promoting now. He has his marketing hat on, and he's on social media stuff. Do these kids, the next generation behind us, can they do that? I don't think so.
Not all of them, but there will be some who you can't stop them. They have the creative spirit. They have the energy. It's a God-given gift, and they will have the fire, and they'll be wanting to do great art, and they'll just still have a passion for it, and you won't be able to stop them. Nothing you can stop them.
And you hope that they'll hook up with somebody to mentor them through that.
Yeah. I know they're out there. You just got to be encouraged and pointed in the right direction.
I think they're out there too.
But they're rare. They're rare. Yeah. I mean, how many Frank Frazettas are there? I mean, how many Will Eisners are there? These people are rare. But they will be out there. We just have to encourage them, and they will come out and also show them what we can do. We're the pros. We are the masters at what we do. I mean, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 30 some years. I mean, I know what I'm doing. That Black Terror thing didn't happen on accident. I've done 100 bombs and 100 stinkers before I got to that place. You got to work and develop your skills. And then you can compose something and design something and you have the anatomy right, and you tell a story right, and this takes some time to learn how to do, and that's what I think we're all going to appreciate that we're at that point now where we know what we're doing. I mean, if you get Graham's, Ghosts of Matecumbe Key, you got a master at work. You're going to have a great story. It's going to be fun to read and enjoyable, and so look for the new guys coming up. Look, keep your eyes out for them. But in the meantime, enjoy the comic books that we're going to be delivering to you because they're going to be good. I mean, they're really going to be cool, fun stuff.
You're here.
Actually, TJ James is not wrong. I've been at it since 8 this morning because that's when I launched 31 Days of Monsters.
That's right, dude.
So, yeah.
So you want to wrap it up or what?
No, I'm having fun.
Oh, good, because I'm going to get a drink because I don't want to go to bed. And Debbie, my wife's got a stomach bug. So
oh, no.
Yeah, so she's on the couch.
Oh.
So, I'm like, I just want to hang out. So I'll be right back.
This is one of the most fun streams I've ever done. So
ever.
Let's do it.
All time.
Yeah, well, we love comics,
Reach out to Chuck and see if Chuck will come on.
Oh, Chuck, man, that'd be awesome.
Chuck Dixon?
Yeah.
Not?
Oh, I'll throw him the link.
Why not? Call,
sure. I mean, I don't know how much cleanup he's got in Florida, but I'll send him the link.
Oh, he's Chuck Dixon. It's been done. He did that.
Yeah, that's true. He made the hurricane go around him.
He did. He totally did. All right, I'm gonna go get a drink.
All right, you go get something to drink. I'm gonna.
What the hell did I do?
What'd you do?
Let's look at this campaign.
Look how cute I was 20 years ago.
Look at
dude.
You.
Oh, all right. Shut up. Sorry.
Hold on. I'm just gonna shoot this over to.
It takes a while for him to say goodbye.
All right, hold on a second. So Billy asked me a question. I'm going to ask this to you as I'm sending this message to Chuck. You obviously like wrong thing. You like horror movies, right?
Yeah, but the traditional stuff,
Right.
I like like the vampire, the Dracula, the Frankenstein, the
Right.
werewolf, and all that kind of stuff. But what I don't really care for is gore, like the slasher movies. When
Right.
I first saw one of those, like Friday the 13th, it wasn't so much scary. It was just kind of just go gross. It was kind of like it was just so realistically, I just, and I so I don't really like that. Like even like the Sixth Sense, something like that, where it's scary. It's that you have to have that element of supernatural. That is what makes a good spooky story. You know how I like ghost stories. It's like that spooky kind of, like got the lights behind me. It's mysterious. It's a little bit creepy. It's fun. It's that, you get that your hair stands at the back of your neck kind of thing, and you walk into a scary room. Like that's the ghost story. That's what's fun. It's something mysterious about it. And just gore and just as somebody's just killing people, you can see that in the news. It's like that's not really mysterious to me. So you
Right.
have to have that supernatural. Frankenstein becomes a monster. What is that? It's cool.
Mm.
Dracula is what's a supernatural creature that drinks your blood. That's fun.
Mhm.
So all these kind of stories that in ghost stories, of course, ghost stories are Billy. Oh my gosh, his stories of his house. It's just that just hearing that him tell these stories. There's that little you get a little chill. The hair stands on your hand on the back on your arm stands up a little bit. Just that's fun stuff. But it's safe still. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's, oh my gosh, if it were real vampires, you would say, oh, this is horrible.
Right.
I don't
Well,
care.
what
I
about
don't.
do you not like any modern horror stuff?
It depends. What like give me an example.
Well, have you seen The Conjuring?
I don't know that one. No.
Uh, it's about they say it's based on a true story. The very couple that dealt with the Amityville house, it's that couple, and it's
Okay.
about one of the other things that they dealt with, this this ghost story. That movie is terrifying, but it's not gory at all, and it's just creepy good. There's a
But
sequence.
that's what I'm talking about. I like
Yeah,
I like the supernatural.
yeah,
I
and
like
it's
that kind of,
modern. I mean, it's
yeah.
it's just, I don't know, 5, 6 years old. Um, with films like The Omen or The
Right.
Exorcist, you
Yep.
know, great movies uh, that are scary and terrifying without gore.
Yes.
Violence, yes, but not the kind of gore that you get from slasher films.
Right.
you know. But there's obviously stuff. But there's this one scene in The Conjuring, and it was one of those moments where the hairs on your arms go up.
Mhm.
When you see it. It's a point of view shot of this person looking at an armoire. You know, and the way it's framed, the camera's like behind him, so you see them looking at the armoire, and you are looking at the armoire, and you don't realize it until you look up and you see on top of the armoire is this like ghostly figure standing there looking at
Right.
it.
Right.
And as soon as you see it, you're like, fuck. Oh my lord.
I remember it as a kid. We were down in our basement as a bunch of kids and stuff, and all of a sudden we I don't know what we telling some spooky story or something, and somebody just like said something to freak us all out, and we all ran up the basement stairs, and we're literally like crawling over each other, climbing over each other to get out of the basement. And it was kind of, it was scary. We're all scared, but it was kind of fun too. Like it's just, and that's what I'm talking about, where it's kind of, it's a fun thing. I think Halloween is for kids in a way. The dressing up and all that stuff. My mom was an artist, and I remember every Halloween she would do something on the front window with just construction paper. She'd make a scene. So I came home from school and I was like completely delighted to see what she had created, like a graveyard scene or a ghost or something, or witch or something. It was big with construction paper all over the window, and I think I actually ended up doing one myself on that same front window. So it was really kind of fun, something about Halloween is an expression of the spookiness. Maybe some people said it's a way of dealing with our fears. Maybe, I don't know, but
Mhm.
it's a lot of fun if you keep it kind of, walk that. There's a fine line between just like this is just really horrible, and this is just kind of goofy fun, kind of creepy fun.
Yeah, it comes from Ireland. All Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
Was brought here by the Irish immigrants, and it's my favorite time of the year because in the Northeast, at least, the seasons change. That whole Sleepy Hollow feel, the Washington Irving writings, and there's just it's the season of death. Because all the life on the trees and stuff is dying, and it rustles, and it gets dark earlier. It's cold. There's so people are inside and they're telling stories, and it's just this wonderful, wonderful time of year. Which,
even artistically though,
Yeah.
the change of the colors, the black and orange, the orange of the leaves and the black of the
Yes.
the tree trunks, there's something very earthy about that, and it's artistically it's pleasant, and so that's part of it too, where it's just like it excites the mind to telling stories. It just lends itself to telling story. You're hunkering down and
Yeah.
you're kind of getting in your little burrow or whatever, and you tell the time for good tales. So
Hey, Mange Truck Cappy Davis, thank you for that $2 super chat. Got creature feature order 510. Looks great. Go CG. Hey, thanks, buddy. You got the glow in the dark version. That's awesome. I can't wait to see when that's printed out. First thing I'm going to do is hold it under the light for a couple minutes, and then go in the bathroom, turn the light off, and read it. This is gonna
let's look at the campaign and see this creepy story you got going here.
We should, because you know what? I haven't even shown the campaign since we've been here. First, let's do a little reboot here and see if we got anything. 31,425, 31,500. Beautiful. 459. Odd number again. We got to get the 460. And I like the 31.5. That's good. Here, let's show the video for anybody that's new in here.
I don't know if I've even seen the video. I'm gonna check.
Oh, you haven't seen the video?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Hold on, let's do this.
I'm not seeing it. Are you sharing it? I'm not seeing it. Graham, I'm not seeing it.
Oh. Hold on. My bad. Boomer moment. It would help if I.
Yeah, get rid of Billy Tucci's.
Billy's here. Come on. Hang on.
How about that? Let's try this. All right, full screen. How about now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Holy crap.
Well, this is pretty current. Gee whiz.
Got to change this. Matecumbe spelled wrong here. Misty Fahrenheit looking hot.
Dude, that looks great.
Nice. I love it. I love that the Florida Everglades trees and stuff like that.
Yeah, the mangrove trees.
Yeah. Did you guys ever do those fan boats through there through the race through? Oh, they're so much fun.
Airboats.
Yeah, they just fly along because they have really flat because that stuff's very shallow there. So these fan boats just freaking fly through these tunnels of trees and stuff, and they're all like that. The trees are like coming into the branches are all coming into the water like that.
Yeah,
they're spooky and fun.
Graham, aren't you putting together a CG pig hunt?
Oh, yeah?
And gator hunt?
That's going to be a stretch goal.
Yes. So lighten up some pigs, man.
Yeah.
Big old
That would be
barbecue
fun.
that night.
I want to take a trip to the Keys this winter and write the whole damn thing off.
Yeah.
Kind of strange
Me
how
too.
this you know, this ghost story thing is tying into the hurricane recently. Like, oh my god.
Oh, I know. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
When
truth
Ian
is
came through.
it's almost a little close to the truth there.
Graham, you seriously have to. You guys have to go, and then you go to Matecumbe Key, and you follow the steps of where the camps were. You know what I mean? You go and
Oh, yeah.
this is where it came. This you have to do a documentary on that.
Yeah, I've been there, and Matecumbe Key, the biggest town on Matecumbe is Isla Morada, which is the game fishing capital of the world, by the way.
Mm.
Isla Morada, and there is the hurricane memorial. It's this beautiful memorial built out of coquina, and it's got the hurricane on it and stuff. And then there's plaques talking about the people that lost their lives and about the hurricane. It's a really, really beautiful, beautiful thing to see. I took pictures of it when we were there. I should find those. I should find those and post them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Now, Graham, did you say these are?
Put it on the campaign
are these
too.
based?
I would put it. I'm sorry, Dan.
Are these based on real stories at all, or
Yeah.
no, your Cat Matecumbe Key stories? They're
Well, the hurricane backdrop is real.
okay.
That's the Labor Day hurricane of 1935, the most powerful hurricane to ever hit the United States. So yeah, that is real. Obviously, the ghosts and Misty and Meathead are not.
Mm.
That we can prove.
Not be too sure. No, don't be too sure. I mean, like,
That's right.
Oh my God, we're $500 away from a good luck number. We cannot be an odd number. 31 is not a good number. So guys, please share it with your friends, your family, your ex-girlfriends, your ex-boyfriends, whatever.
Yeah. Hey Billy, would you ever do a story? Just your when you tell your ghost stories of your house, your own house, they're really frightening, and it's like I almost like want to see a comic book version of those stories, even though it's not a big deal. Like just like a story where you say just the something foul or something. What was it you said?
Well, yeah. So here's the thing. So my oldest brother Joey was killed by a drunk driver when he was 17 years old. He was driving his girlfriend home at the time from our house to whatever, she lived 2 miles away, whatever. Some drunk driver with a suspended license, of course, multiple felon, ran a red light and hit them and killed my brother. He was 7, and my mother's never been the same. It like I said, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But we have experiences in my house, and I have a lot, and Debbie's tells the best stories. So I think it's my brother Joey. My son William, though, for the past month, Graham has been having night paralysis. And when you ever have that night paralysis when there's a being there or you're terrified so much, but you want to fight it, sort of thing, but you just can't. You're frozen.
Right.
Have you guys
ever had that? I've never had that.
Heard of it, but
I've had it, and so that's my son now has been having that. So now we're wondering, is someone else coming in? And these are the conversations the Tucci's have over dinner that no one knows except for Graham Nolan's backers right now and fans. So now we have to see what the hell's going on in the house, because my house is totally haunted. Old man Brain died in my house. I think it's my brother. There was a woman in the woods behind us, not 100 yards behind my house, a young girl that was raped and murdered. It was a suburban, weird, rural thing that whatever. And she was raped and murdered like I said, 100 yards behind my house in the woods back there. So there's all these little weird things. My house was built in 1847.
Oh, wow.
So there is, and everyone in town, everyone we meet has experienced hauntings in my house. Crazy.
Just your house.
Just this home. Yeah, just my and there's a house. So the Bush's house. So our house was built by a very famous architect that was murdered. I think he built a lot of the houses on Fifth Avenue. He was murdered, I think, in Central Park in New York City in like 1915 or something like that by having an affair with one of his clients' wives. So he's doing. So he built my home, the house next to me 20 years earlier, and the house before that 20 years before that. He designed those homes.
This is totally like a movie. Like,
Great, yeah. It's
You move the headstones. You
Yes,
didn't
yes.
move the body.
And I
what
love
did
it.
you
I
do?
love
With,
it.
what did you
Yeah, I
do with
love
my
this shit, yeah.
design? I had designed this house perfectly. You put the couch in the wrong place.
Yeah, so
That-
Niall,
That's
my
what
partner Niall-
Billy, when they knocked the furniture over
Yeah.
there, he was really saying, "Don't put it there."
So Niall came over last year. We lit the fire pit and we're all hanging out and stuff like that. And the next day he goes, I gotta ask you something. I'm like, what? He's like, is your house haunted? I'm like, yeah, of course it's haunted. He goes, I saw someone standing in your parlor.
Mm.
Whoa.
I'm like, get at it. I'm like, bullshit. Are you? He's like, no, dude, I really saw someone standing in your parlor. And he said, we can do a Halloween show. And
Yeah.
we've done that. We've played with that before now. Graham,
Yeah.
so.
Hey, here's the this is the plaque on the Hurricane Memorial. Can you read that?
Hardly, no.
No.
Okay, it says dedicated to the memory of the civilians and war veterans whose lives were lost in the hurricane of September 2nd, 1935.
Wow. And you're wearing the same exact shirt you're wearing right now.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. So did you hear that
You need the hat and glasses.
What's her name? Joy Reid today. She was talking. I think it's Joy Reid. I don't know if it's
Who's
Joy
Joy
Reid.
Reid?
One of those idiots on MSNBC or CNN saying that now the hurricanes, it seems, of course, everything it could be, sort of thing, that the hurricanes are more frequent, but there's way more damage these days that we didn't have in the 30s or the 40s or the 50s, the 60s, 70s. There's more damage. There's more property damage, and that's because there's more fucking people.
There's more property.
Well, yeah, building in Florida. That's why there's more.
And they're probably building in places that you probably shouldn't build in. Probably.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but the winds haven't changed. The winds are not more.
Yeah.
The water temperature is not more. They say it's bullshit. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
But
eating? Ice cream?
Global warming.
Because Debbie had her stomach virus. I went to Stop and Shop and got myself a delicious
Creamy
Panera's cream with
chicken
chicken
and
and
wild rice soup. All
It's
right.
my dinner. There's no carbs in this, right? So I'm good.
Oh, it's all carbs.
What? No. What?
It's rice.
What?
I
Just
had a
have-
big
just
hunk of
eat a
ground
stick-
beef with cheese on it tonight.
Mm.
That's what I ate. No carbs in that. Just
What was it? What was it?
big hunk of ground beef with cheddar cheese on it and onions.
Now, do you go with like some brown rice, wild rice?
No, that's carbs. No,
What?
no, that's carbs. I
How
just
much do
eat.
you weigh, Graham, if you don't mind me asking you?
185.
Holy shit.
Really? Wow.
That's it? Because I'm like the same weight as you, and I'm shorter than you.
Mm-hmm.
But my waistline's only 29. So what's yours? me and Dan is sporting 29-inch waistline.
I wish. Shit.
No, my 34s are loose though. I'm like a 33.
Billy, I'm like 5'9" with you, but I'm more than I'm up in
I'm
the
not
two.
5'9". You guys are 5'9". I'm 5'9".
I'm 5'9".
Oh, we're all
5'8".
5'9". Well, yeah, high fives.
Oh yeah, I'm 5'9". So here's
Yeah.
Little guys.
So my wife thinks I'm 5'9". I really think she does. So Debbie's 5'3". She always wears heels and stuff. But what I've been doing, especially since we've been married these decades, is when I drive her car, Graham, I stop.
Oh, you told me this.
I told you this. I push the seat back a little bit more, and I get out every time. So she has to push it. Boom.
Wow.
Hey, that's what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
What
I
she could be
follow,
watching the
keto
show though.
diet.
Not if you want, she's watching the show. She's
No,
gonna know that. Oh, she's
She's
not
not
watching
watching the show.
She's watching.
Paul Taylor, man, knows hockey. Heck yeah. Playing hockey 3 times a week. Graham's not a big Buffalo Sabres fan, are you?
I'm not a hockey guy. Just, baseball and football.
You watch the game today?
I did not.
Judge
Thank-
struck out twice
Uh-huh.
but he got hit by a pitch and they walked him the other time. But it's also
They're throwing him shit right now.
yeah, they're throwing him shit. So it's out of frustration why he's striking out because
Yeah.
none of these.
Nobody
that's the
wants
thing.
to lay one over there and give him 62.
Yeah, like Al Dowling did not give a shit. He was a manly man. If I'm gonna give up the World Series, the home run record, I'll do it. Why not? You know what I mean? But these guys are so programmed to be like, I don't want to say the bitches because there are, athletes and all, but is it their agents talking to them? You don't want to be that asterisk. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that guy.
Mm.
And they're not pitching to the poor guy. It's been 5 games now. You know what I mean? It's like frustrating.
Yeah, it is. But he'll get it. He'll get it. He's ahead of the curve.
He should have had, if they would have pitched to him like Bonds, that cheater piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have broken Bonds' record.
Yeah.
None of these guys have been pitching to him. It's crazy.
Yeah. Bonds, Sosa, and
McGuire.
all HGH and steroid nuts. How does a record stand for 50 some odd years and nobody even getting close? And then in the same year, it doesn't just get beaten by one, it gets crushed by 2 people.
2 guys.
Two guys just crush it. There's no other record that stood that has ever been crushed like that. So in my eyes, those guys, they put an asterisk next to Maris's name.
Yes, they did.
It took him more games to hit 61 than it did the Babe. Or
yeah, 154 to like 148.
Yeah, because they
did that for
games.
like 40 years. They did that.
But you know what? But they also don't account for a lot of the early home runs that the Babe hit was during the mushball era.
Mm-hmm.
Where the ball wouldn't travel, and yet he still had the power to knock it out when nobody else could. But back to Maris getting boned by the Asterix. These guys should just have their records expunged because of the cheating and bullshit. It should go away, and it should just be Roger Maris is the one to beat now.
100%. Roger Maris and Hank Aaron. That should be it.
Yes.
There's no reason whatsoever that these guys who admitted being cheated, except for Bonds, and he's a piece of shit, and he was a great ball player.
Yeah.
He was
nobody's head gets that big.
Yeah, but Bonds also. Remember, Bonds had like he had like a comfort chair, had to be at home and away games at his locker, and he didn't travel with the team. He flew separately from the fucking New York Giants. San Francisco Giants charter plane. They had their own fucking plane. He flew on another plane. He wouldn't even fly with his own players.
What wasn't Bonds like doing okay, and then he got the steroids and
oh my god, he went from what? Where did he go from? Like he was like Griffey in a way. He went from like 178,
180 or something like that to
220, 220.
Yeah, in a season.
Yeah, and his waist, and his waist did not grow like 6. Like he was no Fernando Valenzuela. Yeah,
his head got bigger.
Yeah,
he had to get new hats.
And they're saying, the bat speed doesn't change. Yeah, but if you have that much more power, a long fly drive, a long fly ball on the warning track is now carrying 10 feet more. Yeah. That's how you get those home runs.
Yeah, they also say your perception of speed is enhanced. And that's crap about bat speed. Of course, it's going to go faster if you've got more muscle to deliver the turns and to crank that bat around. That's nonsense.
Yeah. Who was the other guy? Who was the other guy? There was another guy who was knocking stuff out of the park at the same time. Phillies guy? Was the Phillies guy? The Phillies guy, wasn't he?
No. Oh, what's his name? Well, Mike Schmidt never hit more than 20 home runs in a season.
No, it wasn't Schmidt. Schmidt wasn't a user. Do you remember Lenny Dykstra from the Mets?
Nails? Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, remember Lenny Dykstra goes off and at the end of the season comes back in spring training, and he goes from 150 pounds to like 200 pounds. Yeah. And they ask him, what have you been doing in the off season? I've been lifting a lot of weights.
Yeah.
Like, no, dude, you can't put on that kind of lean muscle just lifting weights on your own. You know how hard it is
Yeah,
to
he's like,
build.
he's like Greg Jeffries too. Again, I'm a Yankees fan, so I
fans,
love
yeah.
like ripping on Mets fans. But Greg Jeffries did the same thing. He had a great rookie season, and he came back and he's like 30 pounds heavier. And he said, how'd you build muscle? He goes, oh, I take swings in the pool. He say it every day. He says swing. That's what built him up, is in the pool.
Oh, I got to try that. Hey, you guys, I'm just looking at
Good
chat.
luck.
Just a guy here says, TJ James says he bought my Al Capone Vampire Hunter
Oh,
just for my
nice.
cover.
TJ James is an animal, bro.
Yeah.
I love
Hey,
he's
that
a
Star
great
Wars girl
friend.
says this is great to listen to. Can you believe that, guys? A bunch of old farts like us.
Oh, I didn't see Anna listed here.
Yeah.
She up? Is she down by the bottom?
Dan, where do you live, Dan?
I'm in Michigan. So,
TJ James is a mensch. I hope TJ James is coming to Baltimore Comic-Con. But I think was TJ at our cigar? He might. No, TJ might have missed. I think TJ was there the year before the Graham Nolan Hawaiian shirt night at Terrificon.
What's King Diamond's ghost stories? This guy says, I love King Diamond's ghost stories.
I don't know.
But
Mighty Joe says suspense over gore. Yes.
We haven't even shown this campaign yet. We've been on here for 2 hours. 2 hours and a half. I haven't even shown the campaign.
Yeah,
I think it might be a good time for anybody that's in the chat that hasn't backed it yet. So, in case you're wondering, the wait is over as Compass Comics presents the linchpin book that will connect the Shinu, Alien Alamo, and all the Nolanverse books together. Don't have the other two books. They're available in limited quantities as add-ons at checkout. So if you choose one of these books, one of the Ghost books, when you go out, there'll be all kinds of stuff you can add on to your purchase. If you're so inclined, you can get the Nolan cover package. You'll get a 5% discount on the cost of these two, but then the bigger discount is on the shipping because it's the same shipping for one as it is for all three. And you get the signed mini print as well, which was colored by our very own Dan Lawless down here.
But damn, so if we held off and didn't support your other campaigns, we get a huge discount on the new books and a print.
Did you say me or Dan?
Yeah, no, you. If we did not support your other campaigns, we would have got a damn. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's a good deal to get the three covers, including the glow in the dark cover and the mini print. I could use a cigar. If you look here, it says, nothing like relaxing with a good cigar after a hard day of writing, creating, streaming, and fulfilling. I need this, people. So
he does
that. Then we've got the classic for this one. This cover A, which is the main cover, colored by the great Kelsey Shannon.
Yeah.
Cover B. That's
a great cover.
Yeah.
That's my EC Comics send-up cover.
Oh, good.
And I did the coloring on that.
This is the thing is what I'm talking about with the young artists. Go back and look at the classics because there's actually such power and charm. These guys were doing comics that they required sales from. They had to actually sell the comics. So they were doing stuff that would appeal to everybody. So that's the kind of comics you want to look at, not the comics that are just from some corporation that is just lifeless, that just anybody could, they just chuck it out and send it out and you have no choice to buy it. Look at the comics that were life and death. They had to sell these comics to people. And this is what we're tapping into. We know this stuff. And so I would recommend young people to check out the old comics and do that now because you will sell comics. Because people love that stuff, I love it, and we all love it,
And you're right because there's no, excuse me, there's no like Wizard magazine back in the day, say 20 years back, was huge. Yeah. They would tell you what books were going to be hot or which books were hot. Back in the day when those guys were doing those EC covers and all that, there was no magazine telling you. You had to sell. You had to make that book hot.
It was point of sale. That's what it was.
Well, and back then, covers sold the books too. Yep. Now they're already pre-sold. They're picked by retailers from a catalog and they're put out. And the covers don't serve the same purpose that they used to, because now they're just basically all illustrations or evergreen covers that don't tell any aspect of the story itself. You could swap those covers out in and out. And that's what I always love is storytelling covers. I like to tell a story. Enhance something that's inside the book or tell a standalone story.
I love it.
Speaking of the
you
story, in the sweltering heat of the Florida Keys, the dead are returning. The crimes of today uncover the crimes of the past as private investigators Misty Fahrenheit and Mike Meathead Ratowski have to unravel the mystery of the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key.
Oh,
right.
That was a weak bell.
Are you guys at all like me? Like, okay, so whenever I watch a pretty scary story and I'm walking up the stairs to go to bed, I sort of walk sideways, like ready for action. Like, so something doesn't grab me from the back. Like, I kind of like, okay, I'm going up.
Nope, never do that, Dan.
Nope.
I was like, okay, if there's something gonna attack me, I'm like in defense position.
Well, Dan, I was in the infantry, so I do that all the time, even if I'm walking across the street.
Huh? What? Say it again. Sorry.
I said I was in the infantry, so I do that even if I'm walking across, taking the garbage cans out.
Okay.
Checking my six. And you know who's always on my six? Graham Nolan.
I'm always strutting behind saying, yeah, come at it, boy.
That's right. I'm like, this is my bodyguard.
But don't you remember as a kid though? You're like now you're in your bed and you kind of like go to the middle in case anything kind of comes up and grabs over the bed or it's underneath the bed and kind of
Why you had like a queen size bed when you were a kid? Were you rich?
No, not just a normal bed. I'm saying, but something that would be under the bed that would come up and kind of grab you. And sometimes it was my brother.
See, I had bunk bed, so my asshole brother Philip was always below my bed.
Well, yeah, even I did too. I had a bunk bed poop, but nevertheless, it was like something could still come up and grab you. You got to be in the middle,
Hey, here's the mini print, colored by Dan. Came out gorgeous.
What a great collaboration, boys.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw the original art. Looks like that went.
Oh,
for 2000.
Okay.
Nice. And then
hey, holy shit, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I do. Hey, guys, I remember one time an actual fist coming over my bed trying to hit me, but that was because my brother was, I was in top bunk. He was in the lower bunk, and I decided because I was kind of pissed at him to punch him while he was sleeping.
As you do.
So I crept up to him and I just haymakered him. And he said all he saw was stars. And then, like a little shit that I was, I went to I ran away, I went down to my parents and said, he won't let me go to sleep. He's going to hit me. Like, oh, well, I got to let him, don't hit him. Let him go to bed. You guys go to bed. So I was like waiting at the door. He's at, he's on the bottom bunk. And then I made this mad dash and I leaped up. And meanwhile, as I'm leaping up, my legs are getting smashed and smashed. So I get up in the top bunk. And then for the next few minutes, I'm like on the top of the bunk, dodging, punching. Fists are flying over the side. And until he gets tired. So I'm just trying to watch out for these flying, flaring punches. But dude, I would say that that's a pretty. This story doesn't let me go. Just I clocked him. He was sleeping. The ultimate sucker punch. Oh my gosh, the stuff we did. Oh man.
So here's a funny story. So speaking about the bunk bed, so my mother said we had to clean our room, and me and my two younger brothers shared a room. So I had the top bunk. My younger brother had the bottom bunk, and our little brother had a separate bed. And we were all just messing around, whatever, trying to clean this room. The big leaf bags, Graham, the big black leaf bags and stuff, because we had so much crap and shit in the room. And we were screwing around. My mother came up, right, pissed off that whatever, like she was gonna be, dude. I jumped in that leaf bag and I laid it down like this, and I laid down. And my mother came in, couldn't see me, and all I heard her was whipping the shit out of my two younger brothers, and it just because they got caught. Tucci didn't get caught. I'm hanging in there in this bag, in the garbage bag, laying down straight. So she thinks I'm a pile of garbage.
Camouflaged completely, man.
Heck yeah!
It's like a domestic camouflage.
Oh, hey, Slavic One. Is Two-Fisted Manly Tales connected to any of your books in any way? As a matter of fact, yes. The last story in it was written by me. It's called Buck Thornton Always Gets His Man. And it's about a bounty hunter and the aliens from Alien Alamo appear in it, and they're given a name, and they're also explained what their purpose is in the universe. So yes, it is connected. And there it is.
There it is. Uncomfortable pause. Hey, where's Fragga? Why's Fragga blowing us off? It's not like he's got a gas leak and a water leak in his house. That poor dude.
Oh,
I'm trying to figure out this comment from Past Master Dan. I don't remember swallowing that Dr. Dan's brother. That's because I hit
it in your oatmeal.
Yeah, I don't.
Past Master Dan, don't even bother with him. He's a killer. He'll F you up. So I wouldn't even.
He's always saying hi to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't address it.
All right. Well, it sounds interesting. Whatever it is.
Are we at 32 yet? Because this is not good luck. My God.
We're at 31,765.
Guys, please share with your friends. Listen, I can't. Do I got to buy this guy another cigar?
31,850. I lied. 466 backers. We can get it to 32. I have all the confidence in the world in my friends over here in the chat. In fact, I think I just heard another buzz, which is good.
Where's John Malin?
Yeah, where's John Malin?
Did you reach out to the Kings, Tim, or to the other Kings?
I put this link. Didn't I put it in the link? Isn't that where you got it, Dan?
I got the Facebook link. I did not see the Kings
green room
or the.
Yeah, it's in the green room.
Have you guys heard John John Malin talking about his working on bridges stories? I'm like,
no.
I'm sorry, but John Malin is a man's man. I mean, this guy is like the stuff he has done and worked on and stuff. Oh my God. I mean, all these SJWs be peeing their pants trying to do the jobs that John Malin did, It's like I would, like climbing up these. I'm working on bridges. I don't like heights, man. Like climbing up these bridges and working on shit. Oh my God! Wow,
that's a funny conversation. I don't know about you guys, but like our jobs, in between, from high school graduation to becoming professional comic guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Like holy shit, right?
Yeah. Well, I worked in plastic factories, steel plants, and we had just all kinds of just garbage jobs.
Yeah, I dug ditches, built docks, laid pipe.
You were tan though.
I was tan as hell. This was in the Florida sun too.
Heck yeah, dude.
Wow.
Bronze Graham Nolan.
Oh my God, yeah, I was like Doc Savage.
Doc Savage Nolan.
What time? I lived on a barrier island, so we had the Indian River on one side, and we had the Atlantic Ocean on the other side, and that distance was less than a mile. Yeah. So we're at the Indian River side, and we're building a dock out there, and it's lunchtime, and it was August in Florida. It was 102 degrees and 98% humidity. Oh. I mean, it was just brutal. So I jumped in my car, drove straight across the street over to the beach side, and went down to the beach, and I ate my lunch, and I chugged this big old thing of Gatorade, right? Jumped into the water, cooled off, laid on the beach, and passed out. And I woke up. There's nothing more disorienting than opening your eyes and only seeing blue, because I'm laying on my back and I open up my eyes. There's not a cloud in the sky, and all I see is blue. And I'm like, where the hell am I? And so I get up and I see the beach and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, how long was I out? I grab all my shit. I get back in the car. I go back down there, and all the guys are back from lunch and they're working. And they're like, oh, there he is. Where were you? I said, oh, I think I must have passed out. And he goes, oh, we thought you got eaten by a shark.
That's the man Julie Nolan fell in love with.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, well, thanks for looking out for me, fellas.
Yeah, they don't care about looking for you. Like, yeah, we got work to do. I gotta go looking for him.
That foreman used to stand. We'd be down in the ditch digging, and like laying like PVC pipe under the sand and stuff, and he'd be standing there, like with his arm up on the spade, just standing there talking to us. He was from Alabama, I think, and he'd be talking to us like, "Yeah, boys, it sure is a hot one. Yeah, you just keep on digging, son." Yeah.
Did he smoke? Was he smoking cigarettes and stuff while he was doing it?
Well, he didn't have any cigarettes, but this guy was built like a brick shithouse. This blonde dude. He had these really thick wrists. He's the kind of guy that could pick up one of those long spades with one hand, from the end, without his wrist turning. His name was Bowen.
Wow.
Bowen.
Bowen.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a fun job. Yeah, I was out in the sunshine, working with tools and stuff, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Bub 66 says Graham Lane pipe all over the place.
Look at Glitch here. As a quote, "I laid pipe." I might have to use that. Might have to use that quote on the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key.
Do you guys ever do something like extremely?
That's your best review so far.
Did you ever do a job that was extremely boring? Like I worked at this plastic factory once, and my job was to take this piece of it was that when you go into a restaurant and you see those plastic just forms and they put little cards in them and stuff for displays.
Oh, like it's like a little
bent plastic thing. Well, we made those, and my job was to take this piece of plastic display, put it in tissue paper, wrap it, and put it over there. And I just did that all day long.
Oh my god!
It was just like it was so unbelievably boring. This is where I think my mind started working on stories and comics and stuff. I just had to do something. But the 15-minute break, that you had in the middle of the day and then later in the day, was like Nirvana. It was like the greatest thing ever. Like because it literally drove you nuts. You were taking a piece of plastic, put in the thing, do the same thing, and go over it. And although I did a damn good job of this, I would wrap these plastic things really well.
How old were you?
What was the most boring
I was a teen,
job? That was the most boring job for you. What was the most boring job you ever did, Billy?
Well, so my mother had a clothing. I grew up in the fashion industry, so my mother had a clothing manufacturing shop. So I was the underpresser. I would press pleats and all that stuff. I could do all that, and I'm sweating my ass off with this steam and all this stuff. And then I could overpress skirts and all that, and then I would overpress it and hang it, and then I would put it on. I put on the rack. I could do. I'm telling you, if I go to any dry cleaner right now, I could press the shit out of people's clothes and then drop the bag. The bag was on a huge roll that like plastic bags, and these were like for Macy's, like big, like Calvin Klein and all this stuff, all these. So and then I would rip the bag, and so it was very monotonous. But I think that was my most boring. It was a lot of work, but I was always working, so I guess I just failed on that one. So
I remember the guys would see me sitting there, and I'd be wrapping this plastic bag. All of a sudden, I start laughing, because I thought of something funny. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? But your mind just goes. When you have a monotonous task to do, your mind just kind of goes into funny places and stuff.
Yeah. Well, here's an interesting story about what people need jobs today. So my son William, he's 20 years old. He's fully certified as a welder. He wanted to go to a welding school, and it was attached to it. It was up in Schenectady, and it was part of the dorms he was at SUNY Schenectady. So he's at dorms with other college kids, whatever. And it was a whole semester or 10 months or whatever. And so he comes back and he's got a great job. Now he's got hired. He's waiting for the union, but all of a sudden these companies.
That's a great career these days, isn't it?
So he got, people need welders. So he comes home like, so what are you doing? He's like, I'm illuminating. I'm welding aluminum because he can do aluminum. Computer cabinets for the big companies. You know what I mean? Like they're doing all this stuff. And he's like, I'm like, how is Dad, he goes, it's like welding school. I get like 4 breaks a day. Now he's working 3 p.m. to midnight shift because he's new. He just got the job. But you think of tradesmen, that people need tradesmen, and the money this kid is making compared to what I was his age or any other comics pros right now, like working for the mainstream. This kid is killing it. He's 20 years old because they need skilled craftsmen.
That's right. That's right.
Tradesmen, they need. And he's like, Dad, he goes, we get 4 breaks. I get 4 breaks of my shift. So they just call us on his, like, what are you doing? Dude, it's like, you started at 3 p.m. It's like 4:30. He's like, I'm on a break. I'm like, what? Because that's, you know what I mean? That's corporate America. Like, and he's like killing it. It's amazing. And, he's working. He's a good worker. He's a skilled welder. But people need the tradesmen today.
And
And
you
the
know what?
money they're making
And
as opposed to
the high schools need to promote that, because what they're doing, and they have been doing for years, is sending them to college and more college and more college, because now a bachelor's isn't good enough, and they rack up all the student debt and they come out with no prospects. And some kids just aren't college material. It's not their way. They need to work with their hands. They need to think outside the box. We need mechanics, we need carpenters, we need plumbers, we need electricians. We need these trades. They're very, very important. Every millionaire needs to get their toilet plunged by somebody.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
but
they're great careers.
Yeah.
And we need to encourage our young men and women to go into these things and not necessarily jump into college because that's the proven path. Now, before we go any further, I've been told I need to refresh. So here we go. Timpani. Oh. Sounds like a growl. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, bro. Okay, guys, thank you all for supporting Graham Nolan, the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key, and Dan Lawless. But you have to realize we were so close to 500 backers in the first 8, 9 hours, 10 hours of this campaign.
Oh, you're right.
Odd numbers.
Billy doesn't like odd numbers.
32. No. We love odd numbers.
Oh, we like odd numbers.
We do not like that. That's bad luck. You can have people that will draw back their pledges, stuff like that. We need to get $33,000 on this. We cannot leave this campaign tonight at 32. We need to get an odd number, because odd numbers is like number 1, and that's winners. Number 1, number 5, number 7, Mickey Mantle.
7, Mickey Mantle. You're right. I always wore number 7
winners.
when I played baseball.
You can't have an odd number. Babe Ruth, number 3. Joe DiMaggio, number 5. Mickey Mantle, number 7. Greg Nettles, number 9. Brah, we got to get that.
Oh,
odd numbers.
Aaron Judge, 99. Robert Maris, 9.
Yes, Wayne Gretzky.
You're on to
Larry
something.
Larry Zonka, Miami Dolphins, who ran all over the Buffalo Bills through his entire Hall of Fame career. Number 39.
Sorry, your mic is going out. I couldn't quite hear that.
Oh, I said Larry Zonka, who ran.
No, I can't hear it. Bills. No, still going out. Thank you, RBM.
Paul Taylor
everybody
says,
else,
major.
Donnie Mattingly, 23. This is what we need, guys. Please share this.
Donnie Baseball.
Paul Taylor says, we're talking about careers. Major in underwater basket weaving. I haven't heard that in a while.
But see, here's the thing, though. So,
That's a good one.
Dan and Graham, if I may, let's
may.
approach that. We have a lot of creators, our fellow comic creators. Many of them are writers. And they're going publicly out there to ask for GoFundMes to support them because they can't pay their bills.
Right.
And whatever people are going through, we understand that. But that's not healthy. That's not encouraging them. You have to get out there. If comics is not your thing, and no matter how much you love it, right? This is real life. You have to support yourself. You have to support your family.
Mm-hmm.
Move on to something else, maybe. Do comics as a side thing. Do a Kickstarter. Do an Indiegogo like we're doing. Do your own stuff. But by George, please don't. I don't know. I think it hurts me when I see people asking for money like that. Grown, you know what I mean? Like adults, grown people that have that. And move on. Maybe
produce a product.
It's not for everyone.
Produce a product.
What?
Produce a product.
Yeah, but no, they try, but.
And sell it.
Am I being mean?
No, it's you deliver a product and you get your wages from that. I think that's perfectly good. If you don't produce a product, you shouldn't get paid.
Well, GoFundMe is almost like standing on a corner with your hat in your hand.
In hand. Yeah.
You know, that sort of rubs me the wrong way. Uh, we all get into trouble. We all need help
Mhm.
sometime. Uh, and you know, you have to figure out other ways of doing it. There's churches and other things that can supply you with the basic needs, but you know, you've got to get out there and work. And if this is your business, if you're in a creative business, then you need to be creative, and you need to be more than just that. You have to understand your market. You have to understand your product. You have to understand who how you're going to present that to people. There's so much to it that you can't just say, because I'm creative, I've created something, I should be a millionaire, and this should sell. If it was that easy, everything would be a hit. It's
Right.
hitting that zeitgeist at the right time.
Right.
There's a lot of great stuff that goes nowhere.
Yep.
And then sometimes it gets rediscovered later on, you know, or sometimes it never gets discovered. But it's up to you to make that happen, and work your ass off to get it out there and make it a success.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, was it Brian Suddenly Old said Yellow Flash just started, and Yellow Flash has a great reach. They said we should get Graham over there on his. Let's get Yellow Flash in, or let's get on Yellow Flash.
Yeah, Graham, get over there, man.
He's in the chat.
Who, Yellow Flash?
Yeah, when you reach out, there's a chat, the main chat, if you know, on Twitter.
I don't see it.
Yeah. Yellow Flash has a great following, right? He's got a lot of subs. So
he's a good dude. Yeah, he's a good dude too. In the messages, let me see.
In the chat here?
Someone indicated
in the green room. He's in the green room.
Brian,
oh!
Brian's suddenly old. Oh, poor Brian. We feel for you, Brian.
I'm tired too, though, man.
We became suddenly old as well, but that's okay. Who has just indicated Yellow Flash is starting.
Aldion, there's no way to get Two-Fisted right now, is there? No, there's not. Once Two-Fisted Manly Tales is fulfilled, then it'll go up on the Compass Comics website. But until all the backers get it, no.
And you told them, didn't you, Graham? You told them before you closed, right? You told them we're closing.
Yeah, I always do, you know. And once it closes, that's it until everything's fulfilled. If there's leftovers, and I always overprint. But Michael Bancroft wants you on his channel this week. Well, I'd love to come on Michael's. I always have a great time talking with him. I'll have to do that. All righty. Well, let's see. We hit 32. I think that's awesome. It's been a very long day.
How you holding up, bro? Have you seen your wife today?
she's been over at the fulfillment center busting her
Is
little.
she working on
her little tuchus, you know, and she came back this tonight, and you know, then I came back down here, so I really haven't seen her that much. I think I heard her and Pumpkin going upstairs, so to go lay down. You know,
you guys, this is a little bit different than normal in the past. So this new thing isn't just comic books.
Mm-hmm.
The YouTube, what we're doing right now, we're connecting directly to fans. I can literally see them, you know, connect and hear what they have to say. Mm-hmm. This is another product in addition to the comic book. It is just the being able to talk to people and being able to communicate with people, develop relationships with people, and friendships with people. This is new. This is a new media. This is a new thing.
But it's not though, in a way, Dan, because when I saw earlier in our chat on Facebook that Graham sent out the link, and I remember talking to Brian Polito. I remember talking to Jeff Smith, to Terry Moore when our numbers came in for these books. I'm like, oh my, and we're so happy. Like, okay, next month though, we got to hit 55,000. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. Like, it's this amazing sense of positive energy that's surrounding us doing our own books. You know what I mean? We're, like I said, we're outlaws. We are the ones on the fringes of the
Billy,
I'm
talking about a talk show. that's new. Like when I was, some of my conservative leanings happened because when I was working at, through advertising or comics, whatever, I would listen to talk radio, and you kind of got it kept me company while I worked all night, and got my work done for the for the late night deadlines in the morning, which I still do. It's why I'm up all night. But that's part of what we also offer to people. We offer just conversation and communication, and that's a product in itself. Because often I'm on the receiving. I'm on the when you guys do these live streams, I'm listening. I'm in the chat. It's like these people are, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm getting actual product from them. I'm getting enjoyment and of the companionship and the keeping me company while I work. So it's kind of a new media in that way. So I'm saying you get a comic book and it's wonderful, it's fun, but also you get just connecting with the people, other fans of the comics and the fans of comics itself. It's a really kind of new thing, I think, and it's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I mean, it's great. Just talking to you guys, this is a blast. It's fun as heck.
Oh,
so,
yeah. We've been chit chatting, Billy and I, for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Dan, you've probably been on here like what, hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
This has just been fantastic.
Yeah. Well, we do the players thing on Tuesdays with Gabe Altaib and Gary Martin and Dave and Aaron Opesti and stuff. I swear we will talk. We're going to plan for 2 hours. We'll go beyond that. And then we turn off the chat, or we end the show. We've talked for 2 hours beyond that,
Yeah.
So it's like you get a bunch of comic guys together. All of a sudden, it's like a comic book convention almost every day, and you can just talk comics. And I'm excited by comics for the first time in 20 years, and I have these skills that I've built up in that time frame and ready to build. But it's just this is a lot of fun. This is a new thing. I'm saying this, guys. This is not something from the past. This has never happened before, and it's really exciting. So you can buy this Ghosts of Matecumbe Key, and then you can go on the chat and talk about it and have fun and connect with these people. I would actually like see some of these fans come on the show, and talk to them personally.
Well, the cool thing is when you're at a convention and they come up to you, because they all have avatars here. So like somebody will come up, like say Past Master Dan, we don't know what he looks like, and he'll come up, maybe he'll have like a Compass Comics shirt or a She shirt or
and they just stand there,
and they'll stand there like it's a secret password. And they'll stand there and they'll look, and then we're like, oh
yeah, it's great.
When we were at that New Jersey con, Billy and I were like kitty corner to each other, and if I'd see somebody, he had his little bell with him, and I'd go, Billy, and he go ding, and we acknowledge like CG guys that would come up to our tables,
It's so funny because a lot of the fans too are also they're very quiet about being a part of it, too, which is
we're quiet about being a part of it sometimes.
Yeah, well, but they come to us and also like ding, and Graham goes. Graham, can we check? Graham, can we do a link to your backer kit to check the Two-Fisted Manly Tales comparison to the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key?
Let me go check that. It's all right.
Bullpen meets convention meets talk radio. Boom. Photo 79. Absolutely.
I think that the fans would love that. I think they would really like that insight to it.
Well, it's backer tracker. That's it.
Yes. Yeah.
Here we go. Okay.
I always say, you guys, when I was in comics, from 87 to 97, I loved comics and all stuff. It was lonely though. It was really lonely. You're just by yourself. You go to conventions and stuff, but it was kind of miserable. I'll tell you the truth. And this is so much more fun. This technology that we have now today to connect with people it's a blast, really.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So here's Alien Alamo. Okay, it launched on January 27th of 21. So at the end of the day, we had 16,340. So yep. Oh, here's the 27th. We're at 27,275 one day later. 26,000 on the 28th. on the 30th. So now we're 3 days in, and we're at 29.9. 29.9. All right, so 32,000 on February 1st. So what is that? 4 days? 27, 28, 29,
Yes.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 4 days.
4 days afterwards.
4
4
days.
full days of promoting and stuff.
Right, to get to 32, and Ghost is at 32 right now.
Well, let's go to
And
can we do the Ghosts backtracker or whatever it's called? Can we see what your projections are?
for this campaign?
Yeah, yeah,
Does it do that?
yeah.
Oh,
It
all
might
right.
not be 12 hours yet, so it might not hit.
Yeah, it might
It
not
takes
be.
12 hours, but type it in, maybe it might pop up. You never know.
Sure.
And bad jokes,
I
lots
can't
and
believe you
lots of
spelled
bad
that.
jokes.
All right, here we go. All right, hit it, bro.
All right. Okay.
So what are we looking at the end? Your projection? Yeah, we're gonna blow that, dude. You've over half that in your first 10
let's
hours.
see. Trending. What is
60. It's
the
trending
12?
at 60,
What
but
is,
you've surpassed that by half. Wait till tomorrow. So say they had you at 12,000 only, right? What did
right,
they have you earlier?
right here?
No, if you go back.
Oh,
if you go
here,
back-
yeah, trending.
No, go back to when you first did. If you click back one page.
Oh,
So they're 12 hours behind you. See? So see, they only have you scroll down. See, they only have you at $12,000 right now.
oh, I see what you're saying. Right.
So they're looking at you to be only 60, and you're over 30 grand past that.
Gotcha.
Now tomorrow
there's
morning,
979
no
backers.
pressure, but you're gonna have to do $750,000 on this campaign.
You hear that, folks?
Let's
get
do
out of
it.
it.
We're one of the good
Let's do
guys.
this.
He's got weddings to pay for God's sakes. He's got 3 daughters.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm still in the hole after this last wedding, and I got another one in April.
You got another one, and they want to go big time.
And it's in Atlanta, so I got to fly down for it too.
Oh, jeez.
So I need your help, people. I need your help.
Please.
But I'm not.
But
for
it's not
anything,
just
I'm
help.
going to provide you with a great.
Right. That's going to say it's not just help. This is an actual product. This is a really good thing. You want to enjoy stuff. You want to have something you like it to put on your shelf, your product, because Marvel's just putting garbage out for people. They're just trying to, I don't know what they're doing. They're trying to preach to you. No preaching, just fun comics. Like
I went down.
If you want to go back in time, you can. The thing is, you can actually go back in time to those comics that you always loved because we're making them. That's what it is, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
So I deviated last night from my usual rabbit hole of the various starships, from Star Trek, and all the different types of classes and all that. And I did a dive into ESG, and oh my God, holy crap! It's, in my opinion, it's
evil.
It really is, and it's real.
Wow,
it is insanely real.
Oh yeah,
and there's so much money out there.
It's made it to Wall Street now. They're
If you guys have stocks, or if you don't have stocks, you have 401ks. All that money's being funneled into that.
Mutual funds. They're building mutual funds that are entirely ESG investments.
But look, how much money is Al Gore worth today? He's a multi-billionaire for being on the boards of these green energy companies.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, you guys, is like we got this battle between the right and the left happening in the country right now. But really, that's what they want. They want us to be fighting each other. So it distracts from the fact that they're making, these politicians getting with no money. How did they retire with $50 million? I wonder how that happened. They don't want you to notice that stuff. They want you to focus on, fighting over gay marriage or something like that. They're trying to get us to fight over trivial things, so they will be distracted from the total corruption that's going on in our government, which we need to get rid of. Anyways.
Yep. All right, guys,
Thanks
we're
for
gonna
bringing us all
close this
down,
down.
Dan.
It's been a long day, and homie needs to get some rest. I want to thank everybody for such an incredible launch day, and for all of you coming out for part 2 of launch day. It was just kind of a last minute thing, and our crowd is incredible. I'm looking at these numbers, and it's amazing how many people are in here. So thank you for that. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your support of me, my project, and all my friends' projects as well. And I'll see you tomorrow morning sometime for 31 Days of Monsters.
Hey, what's the movie tomorrow?
Dog Soldiers.
Dude, I am so fascinated. I never saw it, but I'm fascinated by it. I know all about it. Can you go about 9 or 10? Can you do that?
Well, I think I got to go to mass at 9:30, so it'll either be early or it'll be late.
All right, well, it's going to rain tomorrow, so I'm not hunting tomorrow. So
there you go. All right, I watched it today. I watched Dog Soldiers.
I'm fascinated to hear about it. I haven't seen it, but I want to tune in.
So we'll be talking about that, and please share the link for Ghosts of Matecumbe Key with everybody. You guys can really make it happen and disseminate it to even more people than we can. So if you're interested in it and you like it, please do so. It would be much appreciated. My friends Billy and Dan, thank you guys so much for spending the evening with me, spending your precious time. It is, again, much appreciated. I had a friggin' ball tonight.
I'm grateful to be here. I tell you.
It's just, I love my friends. I love hanging out, and I love hanging out with my chat friends too. This is just wonderful. So thank you, everybody. We'll catch you soon, and God bless. Have a great night.